Hi. Hey. What's up? It's Skycatlive. What's up, guys? It's 3:23. Ooh, it's a late start. 3:23 p.m. on a Monday is 6/22/26. That's a June 22nd, 2026. It is 82 degrees in my house, and it's fairly hot where I live. And oops, sorry, I messed up my camera here. Gotta go. Now that's odd. No, oh, deactivate, activate. Sorry. There we go. So yeah. So it's been a good day, real good day. I woke up today and I felt that I needed to conduct some sort of private personal war against the government. So I did. I wrote a song about the government and well, the most worst thing that I can possibly think of in mankind's history would be the nuclear bomb that we dropped on Hiroshima. I think it's even worse than the Holocaust in some ways because it like mostly killed civilians. Well, I mean, the Holocaust killed civilians too, but like, it took us like 10 years to reach 6 million people. The Hiroshima and Nagasaki took 1.6 million in 2 seconds. So a little bit more horrible on a atrocity scale, I would say. They're both really bad, and they both happened at the same time, so it was like really the most worst thing that's ever happened in humanity. But I have a private bone to pick with not only the right wing but the left wing and the entire US leadership for the last 100 years or something, which is that they did not get the public's permission to drop the nuclear bomb with the Enola Gay on, I forget the day. What day did the bomb drop? It was like 1944 or 6, I forget. Uh what what day did the bomb drop on Hiroshima? It was August 6th, 1945. I should really have that memorized, but I have Swiss cheese brain and holes in my brain. But the Enola Gay dropped the little boy atomic bomb approximately at 8:15 local time, August 6th, 1945, and killed tens of thousands of people. I thought it was millions. Let's see what the number was. 90 to 166,000 people in Hiroshima and 80,000 people in Nagasaki. Now, numerically, the Holocaust was far worse. I don't really see the difference between the Holocaust and what we did with the nuclear bomb. I view America as just as evil and just as black-hearted and shitty as Nazi Germany. I think what we did with Hiroshima is just as nasty and as bad as I don't really see the difference. It's it's depraved loss of life caused by us. That I mean, I really don't see the difference between Hitler and us. I don't see the difference. What's the difference between the people of Hiroshima and Jews? I don't really see the difference. I think white people see a difference. I don't. I think it's still the same sort of atrocities. It's genocide on a mass scale or whatever. We didn't like Japanese people apparently. I don't know what the fuck it was. I don't know. Anyways, so numerically, the bomb dropping on Hiroshima and Nagasaki was not as bad as the Holocaust. So you could say the Holocaust is worse because it did take like 6 or 7 million lives, all in all, World War II. So it's probably worse. It's like worse. It was a far worse thing for the whole world. But the most terrible thing America has ever done is the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bomb. And we did this, and I've got a real bone to pick with my government. And by bone to pick, I mean I would like to hang them with nooses in Times Square. Both, not the current leadership, but I am as angry about them over Hiroshima as I am with Nazis for the Holocaust. And we never got right about this. We never figured out who did it. We never figured out who thought it was okay to drop this bomb. Some people in our government, they went ahead and did this without our permission, and I think it set the stage for America's demise. I think we were always going to be okay until we did this, and we still have not paid for this in any way or fucking form. Now we owe between like 3 and 10 trillion dollars to Japan or something like that, which I just don't understand. I don't understand borrowing money from somebody that we dropped a nuclear bomb on. We obviously dislike them at some point in our lives, so much so that we dropped a nuclear bomb on them. Why do we borrow $3 trillion from them? That's fucking stupid. Why do we do this? Probably because we know that they'll never make us pay it back. Honestly, I swear to God, this is how shitty the leadership is. So I've got a bone to pick with my own goddamn government. I'd like to hang the fucking baby, not not the baby boomers, but the who are the what was the generation? What was the generation that lived in World War II? I don't know the name of it. What is the name of the generation that lived during World War II that made the decisions? Who was that? That's not baby boomers. That's the greatest generation. I can't believe they call it this. The greatest generation, or the silent generation. My fucking ass. They're not the greatest generation. They killed 6 million Jews and dropped bombs on Japanese people. These people weren't good. They weren't the greatest generation at all. My mother's parents, they were shitheads. Like, no, I'm sorry, my grandfather was not a shithead. But like, they personally were not shitheads, but their generation was. Their generation was shitheads. That's how we got Hitler, was their generation. It's fucking insane. We got Hitler out of their generation. Hitler was born in 1906 or some shit like that, or 1896, something like that, I forget. And like, that's one of them. We got Hitler out of that generation. They were not the greatest generation. They were the greatest atrocity generation. They committed the most atrocities, yeah, with Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and Nazis and shit, killing Jews. But I mean, they're not the greatest generation. They're the silent generation because they didn't say anything. Why they killed 7 million people in genocidal wars. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm just not really too down with them. Fuck them. I don't like them. I would like to. Now, these people, they're all dead. Right now in 2026, anybody born between 1901 and 1927 is full-blown dead or dying. They're like 99 years old to 108, somewhere around there. They're just not with us anymore. They might be, but they're not really. The greatest generation is now past, thank God. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? The baby boomers aren't as bad as them. I like the baby boomers a lot more than them. But remember, we got the Vietnam out of them. You know, we got Vietnam out of them. So I mean, after that, we had Gen X. We got Afghanistan out of them. Every generation starts some fucking shitty ass war that lasts 25 fucking years. I refuse to do it. I'll go to war with my own goddamn government long before I ever go to some foreign country. You understand me? And I'm not fucking kidding either. And I don't care if it starts a revolution. That's how I fucking feel. Which brings me to the song that I wrote today, which is coincidentally called Dropping Bombs Without Permission. Now I'm gonna read the lyrics to this song long before I play the song live in a debut form on my channel. But this is the lyrics to Dropping Bombs Without Permission, because it is a poem that I wrote that ended up being put to some trap song. But anyways, the lyrics are, dropping bombs without permission is the name of the song. Give the people back the power. 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 Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. They dropped the bomb without the public's permission. They put the people beneath the mission. And since that day, there's never been remission. Just death and war, disease and sorrow. That's all we can count on come tomorrow. Sorrow, the right wing is only war and sorrow. Sorrow is all we can count on tomorrow. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. There's never ever been a prosecution. A crowd of people looks away, and now the law of the land is persecution. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. The leadership's just dementors and shooters. They take the American dream and execute her. They don't ask us first, they just shoot first. They just shoot first. Gonna tell you about the worst thing that I can think of, my friends. The very same tyrants are still in power. We hear their lies on the news every hour. It's time to give the people back the power. Dropping bombs without permission, they put the people beneath the mission. Give the people back the power, black-bagging politicians. Putting people beneath the mission, dropping bombs without permission. Dropping nuclear bombs without permission. And then I closed up the song with a little message to threaten the fucking piece of shit maggot effing traitors that have taken over this country. P.S. Dear shithead politicians, we're coming for you. Truly yours, all our love, the public. And then the only black bag you will have. And I'm pissed about Nicolas Maduro. I don't want black bag abductions from my own goddamn government. We're not the fucking Gestapo. I don't want the right wing. I don't want them in my country. I want them dead. Fucking dead. You understand me? P.S. Dear shithead politicians, we're coming for you. Truly yours, all our love, the public. And then the only black bag you will ever have any control over anymore will have a zipper, bitch. We're gonna kill you if you continue putting war and the lobbies over the Commonwealth. Mark my words. You're gonna say we didn't warn you. This is the warning. You fascists are bound to lose. As sure as the sun inevitably rises after your dark ages end. And so that's the lyrical content of this song. Now I'm going to play the song. I'm sorry, I got to go tab to it. I gotta pull this from my channel. Now I'm gonna play the song once through without singing or any kind of commentary or anything like that. I'm just gonna play it through because I love this fucking song. This isn't the best work I've ever done, but it's some of the best work I've ever done. I mean, I love this fucking song. I like this song a lot more than I think all my other songs, just because it's easier to like. It's a rap song. It's not some broken down, fucked up blues trap song that nobody but me can appreciate. It's an actual rap song that I think even some of the kids could listen to. So here we go. We're going to go to my channel. I love doing this shit. I'm dropping it off the big face here. This content will go live in 20 minutes. So, you know, whatever. It's like, you know, we got a long delay here. So I'm not live yet, but I will be. But we are recording and going live here. And I can do this. I can debut this song on my channel. And I will. I'm going to debut my song. This is going to be fucking sweet. I could change my Twitch chat, I suppose, but I'm not going to. I don't care about what nerds do. I don't care about if they watch this or not. I don't care what nerds do, frankly. So, So anyways, going to my channel, which is Dropping Bombs Without Permission. We got 6 views already, and that's good because this has been out for like an hour. So 6 views in an hour is really fucking good, and not all of them are mine either. I mean, they're all my friends, but I mean, it's like, you know, but me and my friends, we watched my shit today, which is fucking cool. So anyway, my friends and I, excuse me. So anyways, here we go. We're gonna play this song. This is my live debut. This will go on my channel forever on 6/22/26. I cut another song. I'm 8 or 9 songs into an album. I don't think anybody will ever listen to it. I don't think anybody will ever pay attention to me. I think it is kind of this thing about they cannot ever acknowledge me. They cannot ever legitimize. They cannot ever pay attention. That would mean that they would lose control of their whole shebang and give it to me. So here we go. This is called Skycatlive, Dropping Bombs Without Permission, bitch. I be dropping them bombs without permission, just like these shitheads. You get me? I don't give a flying fuck about the fucking music industry. I don't give a flying fuck if anybody pays attention to it. I don't care. It's more about what I wanted to do, bitch. You understand? That's what real art is. Here we go. Dropping bombs without permission. Here we go. I'm going to play it through twice. The first time I'm just going to listen to it. The second time I'm going to sing over it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to rap over it. So here we go. Dropping bombs without permission. This song starts out with a real deep personal message, which is give the people the power back. Give the people back the power. Give the people back the power. Oh, I'm sorry, piece of shit ass fucking worthless cocksucker software developers took my AirPods off. So here, just sorry, just, you know, the software developers steal steal from us by stealing our time. So you got to kind of add the software developers' failure and fucking incompetence into every transaction that you conduct in the modern age anymore. So I'm sorry, sorry guys. I wanted to do a debut here, but the piece of shit software developers' incompetence gets to go first. It always goes first. The piece of shit cocksucker brain dead software developers from fucking Microsoft or Google or YouTube or whatever it doesn't matter where they're from, they have to get their fucking stealing in first. That's another part of this song, kind of. It's insane. So yeah, this song is about the fact that we dropped the bomb, the nuclear bomb, without the public's permission. It was the worst thing that America has ever done, hands down, by far. We are still paying for it. It's worse than slavery. It's fucking stupid. It was worse than slavery. It probably cost more lives, honestly. And like, it was just worse. It's like the worst thing we've ever fucking done. I'm still pissed about it. There was a bunch of right-wingers up in the government that did that without our fucking permission. And left-wingers, too. Fucking pieces of shit traitors up in our goddamn government. Bombed Japan without our fucking permission. Made enemies out of our closest friends, essentially. And our greatest debtor, essentially, besides China, is Japan. We're going to deal with these problems again in the modern age. We're probably going to have a World War III. It's fucking insane. It's probably going to happen in my fucking lifetime because these pieces of shit, they were never taken care of. They were never prosecuted. Now they built the law of the land to be persecution. The lyrics in the song, they're real. They're not some fucking thing about trying to sell records or fucking making like kids bop or whatever. It's not about that. And I care about these lyrics, and I mean what I said. And I made a warning to them here, and I'm making my stand. I'm taking my revolution in my bed because the lies that they told went to my head. Do you understand? So anyways, here we go. Give the people back the power. Give the people back the power. Give the people back the power. Yep. Give the people back the power. Give the people back the power.
Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. They dropped the bomb without the public's permission. They put the people beneath the mission.
I'm sorry, I gotta start over because I put it on the wrong screen. There we go. I put it on the wrong screen. Sorry. The software developer stealing always comes in the equation first. You always got to. It's kind of like algebra. When you're conducting some business in the modern world, in the modern life, you must add in a -5 integer divisor into all of your algebra when software developers are involved, because their incompetence will steal your time, and you must add it up in the equation when you do the math or whatever it is you're trying to do. So here we go, and I mean that. Power. Give the people back the power. Give the people back the power. I love that. Give the people back the power. Give the people back the power. Give the people back the power. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. They dropped the bomb without the public's permission. They put the people beneath the mission. And since that day, there's never been remission. Just death and war, disease and sorrow. That's all we can count on come tomorrow. Sorrow. The right wing is only war and sorrow. Sorrow is all we can count on tomorrow. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. There's never ever been a prosecution. A crowd of people looks away, and now the law of the land is persecution. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. The leadership's just the mentors and shooters. They take the American dream and execute her. They don't ask us first, they just shoot first. They just shoot first. They just shoot first. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. The very same tyrants are still in power. We hear their lies on the news every hour. It's time to give the people back the power. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. They put the people beneath the mission. Give the people back the power. Black bagging politicians, putting people beneath the mission. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. Without permission. Without permission. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. They dropped the bomb without the public's permission. They put the people beneath the mission. And since that day, there's never been remission. Just death and war, disease and sorrow. That's all we can count on come tomorrow. Sorrow, the right wing is only war and sorrow. Sorrow is all we can count on tomorrow. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. There's never ever been a prosecution. A crowd of people looks away, and now the law of the land is persecution. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. The worst thing I can think of, my friends. The leadership's just the mentors and shooters. They take the American dream and execute her. They don't ask us first, they just shoot first. They just shoot first. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. The very same tyrants are still in power. We hear their lies on the news every hour. It's time to give the people back the power. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. They put the people beneath the mission. Give the people back the power. Black bagging politicians, putting people beneath the mission. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. Permission. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. That's their mission. I don't like how poppy this is.
Black bagging politicians, putting people beneath the mission. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping bombs, dropping bombs, dropping bombs without permission. Without permission.
Hells yeah, I fucking love it. So good. I fucking love it. Okay, we're gonna do one more. I'm gonna sing over my own shit because I like my own shit. I'm full of myself. I am about as main character on the server as you get. I'm full of myself. Hold on, I gotta go jack off to myself, guys. I gotta lube up and go jack off to myself. I swear to God, that's how much I love myself. Have you ever jacked off to yourself in a mirror? Because I have, and I'm not lying. I mean, I love myself that fucking much. I had to take the trip because I do. You know, I love myself like that. I used to be suicidal. Not anymore, because I love myself so much, I jack off to myself. It's just the God's honest truth. So anyways, we're going to do this song again. I'm going to rap over this shit, because I go hard. I go fucking hard, you know what I'm saying? I go hard. I go fucking hard. Skycatlive. Get the people back the power. Get the people back the power.
Give the people
back the power. Give the people back the power. Give the people back the power. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. They dropped the bomb without the public's permission. They put the people beneath the mission. And since that day, there's never been remission. Just death and war, disease and sorrow. That's all we can count on come tomorrow. Sorrow. The right wing is only war and sorrow. Sorrow is all we can count on tomorrow. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. There's never ever been a prosecution. A crowd of people looks away while the land is persecution. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. The leadership's just dementors and shooters. They take the American dream and execute her. They don't ask us first, they just shoot first. They just shoot first. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. The very same tyrants are still in power. We hear their lies on the news every hour. It's time to give the people back the power. Bombs without permission. They put the people beneath the mission. They put the people without permission. They put the people beneath the mission. Give back the power. Bagging politicians. Putting people beneath the mission. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping them without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. They dropped the bomb without the public's permission. They put the people beneath the mission. Since that day, there's never been remission. Just death and war, disease and sorrow. That's all we can count on come tomorrow. Sorrow, the right wing is only war and sorrow. Sorrow is all we can count on tomorrow. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. There's never ever been a prosecution. A crowd of people looks away and now the law of the land is persecution. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. The leadership just mentors and shooters. They take the American dream and execute her. They don't ask us first, they just shoot first. They just shoot first. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. The very same tyrants are still in power. Hear the lies on the news every hour. It's time to give the people back the power. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. They put the people beneath the mission. Give the people back the power. Black bagging politicians. Putting people beneath the mission. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. Without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. I go hard, motherfucker. I've never wrote a rap before. I go fucking hard. I mean, that's the first rap I've ever wrote. And I swear to God, it goes fucking hard. It does. Like, it goes hard. I want them to play it at protest marches. Right? You know what I'm saying? I want to make rap music. I want to make trap music that they play at protest marches. Is that weird? A working class hero is something to be. That's John Lennon. I want to be a working class crazy gamer dude that, like, you know, becomes like a protest hero somehow. I don't know. I want to write stuff that they play like at the protests, like Rage Against the Machine. When I went down to both Bellingham No Kings, for the first one was sunny because it was summer. The other one was in winter and it sucked. But but the one in the summer, it was fucking beautiful. And I bumped the Battle of Los Angeles all the way down to downtown Bellingham. And there was like people screaming at me and cheering and shit. It was fucking awesome. Like they knew what it was because it was the Battle of Los Angeles. Zach wasn't kidding. I mean, we knew this shit was going to happen with the Mexicans since the aughts. You know what I'm saying? And we knew that the racism has set in this country. We all knew. We weren't fucking stupid. This is for the people of the sun. They're coming back around again. This is for the people of the sun. Of the sun. You know what I'm saying? That shit, like that's protest march stuff. I want to write music like that. I think music should have a message. I always did. I think people like Billie Eilish and Taylor Swift are fucking pussies. Although Taylor has actually done some political stuff. But I mean, like, and Billy has said some political stuff. But I still think of them as fucking pussies because they never had a message in their music. And I'm sorry, I am a punker first and foremost. I was raised on 15 and No Effects and fucking, Up Ivy and fucking Black Flag and I don't know, fucking tons of others. Anti-Flag, Against Me, Pennywise, fucking Voodoo Glow Skulls, I mean, it goes on, I'm a fucking punker first and foremost. Punk rock changed our lives, what I'm saying, like Bradley. And I'm a punk rocker first and foremost. This music, it should have a message. Music should have a message these days. If life is hell and the dark ages are about to start again and World War III is right on the fucking horizon, I think music should have a message again. Remember how they would sing like Hiroshima, Nagasaki, they would sing about it. And I'm feeling like that now's the time. I'm saying things in my song that are fucking crazy. Like in the lyrics, I said something really hurtful. I was like, where is it? It's here. It said, just death and war, disease and sorrow, that's all we can count on come tomorrow. Sorrow, the right wing is only war and sorrow. Sorrow is all we can count on tomorrow. If the right wing continues to hold sway in this country, we can only expect sorrow. And another world war. The whole purpose of the world war, the whole purpose, to me, the right wing and war are the same thing. What is war? War is sorrow over loss. At least that's my personal definition of it. Of course, it's like when two, military forces go against each other, but like, or whatever the dictionary definition is. But to me, the right wing and war and rape and murder are all the same thing. It's all the same words. Yeah, I really do hate them that much. It's Satan. Satan's another word for it. Satan. Only Satan would ever venerate only rich white people, and that's what the right wing does. And I'm really not down with it. All this shit is racism. This stuff about Jews, this stuff about the Middle East, racism. This stuff about Asia, it's all racism. It's the stuff with Russia and Ukraine. It's all racism. Old wounds just as telling. And I'm sorry, but I'm fucking angry, and I'm going to take it to the motherfucking streets. I was always scared that I would spark a revolution, going and taking the punkers and the scabies and the metalheads and the Skid Row punkers, the gutter punks, right? I always thought I would start a revolution with the gutter punks, and I think I'd have to write music like this. It's like trap now. Trap's the new punk. And I'm going to do blues trap for my friends, and I'm gonna do, I don't know what you would call it. It's trap, political trap. It's prap. It's or plap. It's plap. It's political trap. So I'm gonna call it plap. I'm creating new music genres. They'll never pay me a fucking penny. They'll die first, because if they ever pay me a penny, I'll take over their whole country. I'm on a new wave. You understand? I'm that kid from Denver. I'm like, I believe in the freedom land of the 70s. I don't I don't think I need to explain it like Lana Del Rey. I don't think I need to explain it either. And I'm on a new wave shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm on a new wave and stuff. I want to kill the Republican and Democrat parties. Full blown, get them gone. I want the traitors gone. I want to convict both of them for dropping the bomb without our permission. I think it's a good thing that we can go back. There's no statute of limitations on murder, right? So we can't punish people who are alive who did this, but we can punish the government and never allow them to make a choice without our permission ever again. I don't know how to bring that about, but that's the revolution that I want. It's called asking us first. They don't ask us first. I don't want them anymore. Both parties, the Republicans and the Democrats, they have proven to be traitors. They don't ask us first before they drop the bomb, kidnap Nicolas Maduro, wipe out the supreme leader of Iran, shit like this. They don't ask us first. They think that that we gave them permission to do this shit. No, motherfucker. We are the public. We are the Commonwealth. I will speak much more passionately than Obama. I don't care. We are the Commonwealth, motherfucker. We deserve better than this. Debt to both fucking parties. Debt to both parties. Fuck them. I'll say it live. I don't fucking care. I don't care if they're in fucking power. I don't care if they're the FBI. I don't care if the world's a fucking drug prison to these baby boomers. I don't fucking care. I don't care. I want them gone. I want both parties gone. This is the song. This is where it starts. You think dropping bombs without permission is throwing bombs? I'm going to throw some bombs and talk about killing both parties. I'm going to talk about what they do to women. I'm not going to talk about what they do to trans people. I'm going to talk about it. And I'm going to change this country. You understand? I don't care if anybody watches. I'll hold a revolution in my bed because their lies went to my fucking head. I don't know how else to say it. That'll be the name of my second album. I'll name the first album's Eight Emotions at Once, because I both love and loathe and hate and revere these people. It's Eight Emotions at Once. I don't understand it. They're still my countrymen. They're still my people. I would not hang them in Times Square, despite how badly I want to do that. I would not do that to them. I will not fire them even. I just want them to change. They have to start telling us what they do. It's complete transparency. I want it now. I want lapel cams on the politicians. First step. That's going to be the next song I write. Lapel cams on the politicians, right? I'm going to jot these ideas down because it matters. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to write the second album title, right? Second album title is I like Fiona Apple. She did like a whole poem for a fucking album title one time called When the Pawn Meets the Conflict, He Acts Like a King. And I love When the Pawn. It's like one of my favorite albums, if not my favorite album, basically. They don't come like When the Pawn, you know? And I am the pawn. I get pushed around this fucking board and I have my credit slashed before I was even of age. I'm a pawn they shove around on the fucking board. I'm fucking sick of it. So when you're the pawn, you think like a king. And she was right about this. I'm a pawn right now, but I'll think like a fucking king. I will think like a king. The second album title is like this. It is this poem that I just wrote, and I've been saying it all day because I was like, there's an important line that I keep saying, which is, I'm gonna start it's an old stolen line from Oasis, but I don't care, it fits. I'm gonna start a revolution from my bed because the lies they told went to my head. And I'm sorry, the lies that they tell go to my head. I don't want them blackbagging Nicolas Maduro. I don't want them fucking killing supreme leaders. I don't want them fucking around. I cannot understand an America that does not want to form an alliance with the rest of the English-speaking countries of this world. I just don't understand that. Anybody who would be against it or hasn't suggested it yet is obviously not qualified to lead us. Neither party is qualified to fucking lead us. We know that that's another song. I'm going to write all these ideas down. The next song is the next songs. I'm going to do several songs. I'm going to talk about what they do to women because I'm fucking pissed about it. I'll talk about it as a man. I don't care. I know what they do to women, and I'm going to talk about it. What they do to women. What they charge them in terms of money, what they do to them with their rights. I'm going to talk about what they do to women, and I'm going to scream at the right wing. I'm going to scream at them. I'm going to say stuff like the right wing is only war and death. That's all they actually are. They're a death cult. So now, what they do to women, what they do to gay people, what they do to trans, the way they treat them. And then those are all three songs. They're going to be three songs. I'm going political. I'm going to be a political rapper. The shit writes itself. It's so easy to write this stuff. I'm going to start Revolution from my bed because Lies They Told went to my head. And that's the second album title. It's crazy. But Eight Emotions at Once is my first album. The second album, I'll get to 5 or 10 albums before they notice me. I know. I'm God, you know who the biggest asshole of all is? It's the Postman. Charles Bukowski. I love Charles Bukowski, and every day I'm a little bit more like him. I really hate the people. I fucking hate them. I'm going to talk about how I hate the people because they aren't worthy of respect. They don't act with honor. And we used to be an honor-based system, but we're not anymore. What they do to trans. We used to be honor-based. We're not anymore. I'm gonna write a second set of songs for I don't. Maybe I'll just put it all in the first album. I don't know. What they do to trans. We used to be honor based. We're not anymore, and I'm gonna talk about that. It's fucking driving me crazy. And yes, and then what's the other thing? I want to talk. So in this song, when I wrote this song, and it only took me 10 minutes to write this song. It took me 10 minutes to write and record this song because it's in there. This stuff is in there. It's in these redemption songs are in me. They've been burning in me for 27 years since I was a child. They've been burning in me, and I've been wanting to write them. I set up a band. They got busy with another band that failed. But I mean, I set up a band. They took my bassist and my drummer, and they built a band that managed to record an album, but that's it. And that's okay. But I mean, I wanted my bassist and my drummer. I still do. I love my bassist and my drummer. I would take a bullet for them, and I love and my backup guitarist is gone, but my lead guitarist is still there, still punker, still left wing, still crazy, still fucking still fucking riding bikes there in West Denver and shit. Like, all my friends are like that. All my friends are still riding bikes in West Denver. It's insane, or downtown Denver. I don't know why, they just are. They're just like that. But I don't see them anymore because apparently doing drugs is bad or whatever, and everybody had to judge each other for doing drugs, which is fucking stupid. That's another song I want to their drug war failed and caused only death. Not alive was saved. I can write songs like that. Dropping bombs without permission and stuff like this, where the subject title is just me being fucking angry at these piece of shit right wing as they drive our country into a fucking hog's death, a hog's funeral. You understand? A hog's coffin. We're gonna die fat, angry, poor, pissed off, and totally disenfranchised. And that's not fucking good. And all of America is going to happen like that. It's fucking stupid. The Nazi Germany war is going to happen again, and it's going to happen here against Jews and Mexicans. And it's fucking stupid, and I will fight these people. I will not let Hitler be born in my country. He will not divide us, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, I want to sing a song about He Will Not Divide Us. I'm going to sing a song called He Will Not Divide Us. I don't care. I'm going to sing a song called He Will Not Divide Us. I'm not trying to ever fuck with Shia LaBeouf. I just want to sing a song about He Will Not Divide Us. I don't care if it's corny. I believe in the message. That's how cringe and leftist I am. I'm going to sing a song called He Will Not Divide Us. Because I really believe in it. You understand? I fucking believe in it. I believe in hating both parties. I don't believe in fucking turning my back on one. Fuck them. They're my family. I'll love them, and I'll push them forward, and I'll get them to change. They've got to fucking change. So now we're going to listen to the song one last time, and then the debut's over. Sorry, this took 40 minutes to do, but it's a single launch. It's a launch party for my single. You know what I'm saying? This is probably one of the most crowd-pleasing songs I'm ever gonna write. And so I take great joy in it because I really don't like the music that's on the fucking radio. I don't. When I play my music for 5 hours and I sing, is any of those songs on the radio? Nope. Or if it was like 50 years ago. Skycatlive. Give the power back to the people. Give the power back to the people. Give the power back to the people. It's not that hard. We don't have the power anymore. You have it. Give the people back the power. Give the people back the power. Give the people back the power. I love this song.
Give the people back the power.
Give the people back the power. Give the people back the power. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. They dropped the bomb without the public's permission. They put the people beneath the mission. And since that day, there's never been remission. Just death and war, disease and sorrow. That's all we can count on come tomorrow. Sorrow. The right wing is only war and sorrow. Sorrow is all we can count on tomorrow. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. There's never ever been a prosecution. A crowd of people looks away, and now the law of the land is persecution. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. Leadership's just dementors and shooters. They take the American dream and execute her. They don't ask us first, they just shoot first. They just shoot first. They just shoot first. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. The very same tyrants are still in power. We hear their lies on the news every hour. It's time to give the people back the power. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. They put the people beneath the mission. Give the people back the passion. Give the people back the power. Bag politicians. Putting people beneath the mission. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. Without permission.
Gonna tell you
Tell you
about the worst thing I can think of, my friends.
They dropped the bomb without the public's permission. They put the people beneath the mission. Since that day, there's never been remission. Just death and war, disease and sorrow. That's all we can count on come tomorrow. Sorrow. The right wing is only war and sorrow. Sorrow is all we can count on tomorrow. We're gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. There's never ever been a prosecution. A crowd of people looks away and now the law of the land is persecution. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. The leadership's just dementors and shooters. They take the American dream and execute it. First, they just shoot first. They just shoot first. Gonna tell you about the worst thing I can think of, my friends. The very same tyrants are still in power. We hear their lies on the news every hour. It's about time to give the people back the power. Jumps without permission. They put the people beneath the mission. Dropping bombs without permission.
They put the people beneath the
mission. Give people back the power. Black bagging politicians. Putting people beneath the mission. Dropping bombs without permission. Drops without permission. Without permission. Permission.
Dropping bombs
Without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping bombs without permission.
That's their mission.
That's their mission. Black bagging politicians.
Dropping bombs without permission.
Dropping bombs without permission.
Dropping bombs. Dropping bombs without permission. Without permission.
I want 3 flavors of right wing. I want 3 flavors of concentric central party. And I want 3 layers of left wing. From low, medium to high liberal, right? And I'm high liberal, and my fight is against the deep far right that has taken over gaming, taken over my country, taken over my government, taken over my people, destroyed us, led us down to the 7th level of hell to serve Satan for child sex materials and fucking shitty ass wars. And I'm fucking sick of them, and I'm going to fucking war with them on a biblical fucking level. And it's not just Satan, it's all the evil things. It's Aku, it's Trump, it's Hitler, it's all the evil ass shit that the fucking came on, that rich white people trying to fucking systematically objectify everybody who isn't rich and white, right? So I had to say, I had another idea, right? So this song is about the worst thing that I can think of. So as I'm going to say, so I did the worst thing that I can think of. Now it's time to do a song about the greatest thing that I can think of, which is like the power of love. I will write a song about the power of love. I guess it is the power of love, right? I don't want to kill these people. I love them. I don't want to kill these people. I love them. I will kill them if they continue to try to systematically objectify everybody who isn't rich and white. But I don't want to kill them. I love them. That's the song. I don't want to kill them. That's the song. That's the song I'm going to write. I don't want to kill them. I love them. That's the song I'm going to write. I don't want to kill them. I love them. That's the song I'm going to write. I don't want to kill them. I love them. That's the song I'm going to write. I can't believe it. It makes me cry even thinking about it. I hate these people. I hate the trip that they put me through. I don't need acid. I've got these shitty Nazis. Dropping bombs without permission. Anyway, so we're moving on off of dropping bombs without permission. I really loved this work. I fucking did so good. Save this. Yeah, save this in D in the documents. Yeah, please. We used to be honor-based. We're not anymore. And I'm going to sing about it. I'm going to be like, oh, my country, where did your honor go? We used to believe in you. Where did your honor go? I'm not going to sing it. I'm not going to do it like Frank Sinatra. I'm going to sing it up right. I'm going to sing it up right, but I'm going to be like, where did your honor go? And I'm going to cry while I'm singing it. Where did your honor go? Where did your honor go? I don't know. It just fled away. It flew away one day. Chicken Little started yelling about the sky falling and in Afghanistan having nukes, or was it Iraq or Iran? I don't know. Rich white people and their fucking lies. I have no idea. I can't keep it all straight. Was it Afghanistan or Iraq, Bush? I can't remember. So anyways, So, so anyways, yeah. So they tell their lies and they do their regime changes. I'm gonna really start screaming at them. I'm gonna scream at them in song form, which is worse. I want to be like one of those guys in the 20s that just that was like Hiroshima, Nagasaki, just singing about it, full blown singing about it, like really talking about it. Like, should we have done this? No, we shouldn't have done this. No. Like what are the lyrics to that song? It's insane. Like Hiroshima, Nagasaki. uh yeah, what is that? It's that's who is that? It's like Dean or somebody who sang that song. It was somebody who really cared. It was Christy Moore and Jim Page. It was Jim Page. He wrote that song, I think. Jim Page, I don't know him very well, but I'm anti-nuclear. I don't believe in nuclear proliferation. I really don't agree with it. I don't want it to exist, frankly. And I'm just like him. I don't know why we went to Hiroshima and Nagasaki and bombed the wrong enemy. Weren't we fighting the Nazis? I'm sorry. Why did we do this to Japan? But anyways, it's just. But this is what rich white people do. This is how they act. This is what they do, right? So here we go. It's called Russian. It's called the song's called the Russian Roulette. The song is literally called Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Russian Roulette, right? They dropped the bomb in 45 to end the World War. No one had ever seen such a terrible sight before. The world looked on with eyes wide to see where it might lead. The politics of power that passed around their seed. It was a time to remember we never can forget. They were playing Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Russian Roulette. They arose like the saviors of our modern human race with radiation halos that hung about their face. With the key to the sure cure, the treatment of our ills, a hot shot of cobalt and a pocket full of pills. Speaking always of the enemy who lurked across the sea while they crept in among us like a carrier disease. And they're talking about the Nazis. Deep down inside the bunkers of the concrete and the lead, Einstein's disciples working steadily ahead, making heavy metal power plants to fire the city lights. All you can hear in the underground is the humming through the night. And the walls of the tight security circle all around, where they spill out their poison and bury it in the ground. Holed up in the harbors, hidden secretly away, warheads and submarines await to make their play. The military masterminds approve on their design. The soldiers get all doped up and stumble through the lines. While the spills into the rivers get carried out by the tide, they call this security, but we're not satisfied. Our statesmen and leaders and politicians pay. Quick to heed the hand of fees, they're careful what they say. They call out experts to assure us to wave their magic wands. This is the power of the future, and the future marches on. And they call in their favors all their political gains, while the spills fills the rivers and settles in the plains. I know the minds behind them, they are riddled full of holes. Not to be trusted, this is the right wing, not to be trusted with their hands at the controls. Their eyesight it is twisted by the glory of their careers. The heaped praise and flatteries, music to their ears. To listen to them talk about how it hasn't happened yet, like playing Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Russian roulette. And I love this. I think this song has so much more value than Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. I do. I think this song has much more value, to cultural value, than Michael fucking Jackson. I do. I think the pop singers are pussies. They sing about love and all that, and I think that's important, yeah. But I don't think they're getting the point across enough. I don't think Taylor is. I think Taylor could be our little sprite, our little minstrel bard that could sing us back to harbor, away from these rocks that we constantly keep crashing into. But no. And so I'm gonna step with a message. I don't care. I think it's incredibly hard to become Rage Against the Machine. So I'm not worried. I think it's incredibly hard to be Zach De La Rocha. I'm not worried about contending with him. I'm not. But I'm gonna take my shot at this piece of shit right-wing revolution that's destroying my country. I'm gonna take my shots at them. I just did it today. I'm gonna keep doing it every time I fancy. Every time I fucking fancy. I'm gonna take a shot at the motherfucking right wing till they're not standing anymore. I'm gonna take a shot at them, full blown. I'm gonna try and shut them down in our minds and our hearts. Expose the world to the world what they actually believe about women and trans and fucking all the Nazi ass piece of shit German Nazi bullshit that they all self fucking proclaimed suddenly in the last 20 years. And I'm sorry, but you thought you would just suddenly like start LARPing being Nazis? I'm not cool with it. Fuck you. I'll spill your blood if I have to. Fuck you guys. I don't like Nazis. I was raised to fucking fight Nazis. Show me a Nazi, I'll fucking fight him. You know? I don't like Nazis. You think the Nazis are going to take over my country? Over my dead fucking body?
This crazy Tulsi Gabbard
Nope.
cult scandalous people.
So moving on, guys. Sorry for all the bombastic noise. It's just, you know, for a single and an album drop, you got to go hard. You got to give it to them. You got to go hard. You got to be like, yo, I'm dropping a fucking single. I dropped a single. I don't care if anybody ever listens to it. I dropped a single. It's a big deal to fucking me. It's a big deal to me, motherfucker. I don't care. It's a big deal to me. I know that nobody else cares. It's a big deal to me. You know?
Scrambling? The polymarket allegations of using fake winning bets to fuel viral growth is worse than you think. With the Mamdani APAC Monsters controversy really exposed. And
So Phil is up at like -12, and I think I want to do that too. My mic. Yeah, my mic. Yeah, Phil's at -12. I think I want to be the same volume as him. Because it's like, it's loud, but it's not overly loud. And that's what I want out of this. So, but yeah, I can't go higher than that though. That's got to stay that. So, but the mic can be up at -12, I would say. It still comes in, you know.
Keir Starmer's now out in the UK, so what happens next? We're talking about all of—
Oh, Keir Starmer's out? Oh, good, right? Yeah, what's the story about Keir Starmer? What's the story about Keir Starmer? I'm completely fucking ignorant of the guy. I had no idea who he is. What does he do? What's his capacity? And what's his affiliation? No. Keir Starmer? How do you say that? Keir Starmer? I don't know the name. Oh, Keir Starmer. Okay, he isn't an internet stream at all. He's a major British politician. He served as the Prime Minister of the UK's Labour Party. So no, the Labour Party, the Tories are the bad people, right? So the Tory is the right wing, right? I don't live in their country, so I don't remember. But Labour Party is the left, and the Tories are the right? That's how that works, isn't it? Confirm. Yeah, that's right. So the left lost Britain. The left no longer has the premier prime minister seat in Britain, which is terrible. They're going to have a Donald Trump, you know, which is terrible. So no, it was just you didn't understand what I said. Ignore. I'm wondering who got in now that Starmer's out. It's a right winger, right? It's going to destroy Britain, right? Oh, okay. Victoria was right next to Tendo when he gave his resignation this week. Oh, no, he resigned. He resigned as actually another left winger. Oh, good. Okay. So Labour holds a massive majority in Parliament because right wing shit isn't popular with people that still think. I would say one thing you couldn't say about Britain is that they're brain rotted. Britain thinks. Britain spends their time thinking about stuff, and I wouldn't say they're nearly as dumb as us. And so, you know, and I think in a thinking man's society, right-wing stuff should be abolished, you know? So Burnham is a prominent Labour politician who has spent the last decade as the incredibly popular mayor of Greater Manchester. So cool. So the left maintained the prime ministership, which is good. So, okay, that's good. So let's go back to Phil.
All of that and even more on today's brand new Philip DeFranco show.
I suppose I will play some video games on my video game stream. We're going to load Fallout 76, both copies. EVE Online, and then I'll move on to X4 when I can't leave X4 running on GeForce Now all day, which is really just not the preferred way to play it at all. That game needs to spin for hours and hours and hours, and I can't really run an X4. I mean, I got established and I can play X4 on my cell phone, but I don't think, like on GeForce Now, but I don't think I don't think I want to run that GeForce Now copy of X4. I want to do the no Steam copy and run it off my hard drive because it's optimized now. Let's see where X4 currently lives on my drive. I don't currently know. Let's see. X4 is living... Oh, no. X4 is not... No. X4 was on my F drive, but the F drive died because it was old. So I've got to install X4 and reinstall the no Steam mod. And as far as I know, this basically like erases your save, I think. Like reinstalling, like you lose your save, I think, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. I've never truly started this game, even though I have played it for months on end sometimes. Yeah, the Empire update is out now, which is super good. New features and sweeping reworks, yeah. So I want to get back into X4. I think it's the superior space game, but I'm also like playing EVE Online, so maybe I won't. I don't know. I'm conflicted. Because to me, X4 is like the offline version of EVE. And I don't really know if I need to put that kind of work into that. I don't think I need to main EVE and X4 at the same time. The sheer amount of work, that's like playing 10 chess games all at once. It really is. It's like playing like 10 chess games. To be successful in EVE, you have to do so much thinking and so much planning and so much shit all the time, or you're just broke. The money just going out doesn't equal the money going in. So I don't know why I would do that on X4 when I'm already doing it on EVE Online. It already exhausts me when I do it for EVE Online. So I like X4, but X4 is like my beautiful little fallback for if the grid goes down, because it's like the greatest single player game ever made. It has the most depth. It's up there with like, you know, Starfield and Daggerfall in its sheer amount of depth, or like No Man's Sky, one of those. It is a sandbox and it's really, really big. You can spend the rest of your life just journeying through X4. It is that big. It's like a frontier that you can go to that won't kill you. A brand new frontier that you can go to that won't kill you. But yeah, and that's why I like video games. It's like going to brand new, like being a pioneer in a place that won't kill you, right? Like if you go and be a pioneer anywhere else, like even in space, you'll probably die. But if you do it in video games, you'll live. So I prefer the video games. You know, it sucks, but it is true. I prefer simulation over reality because reality kills you. Reality kills. You know what I'm saying? If you fuck up once in a spaceship, you die. Once, just once, you die. Maybe your oxygen goes out or something like that. And so, yeah, so I would way rather play Starfield than go to the stars. It sucks, but it is the truth about my personality. It's a little bit odd. I aspire to go to the stars. I would go on a spaceship that never came back, that just was one way out there to the stars. I would take a ride on that ship if I could bring my PC, if I could bring 3 PCs, right? Or probably like 5. I would need 5. I would bring the most expensive laptop. I would bring a stack of laptops. I'd bring like 10 laptops, right? Yeah, I would bring 10 gaming laptops with me. I would take NASA's offer to take a one-way trip into space. I'm not attached to this world at all. If I could bring 10 laptops, you know, and games. And I would just sign my life away to them. And I would take a one-way trip to space. Because I have no attachments to this world. I just have them fucking with me, basically. Like people that fuck with me. So... And so that's the game that I would bring. I would bring X4. I would bring Minecraft. I would bring Rust, my own server, play a lot of Rust. You know, I would have my offline FFXI. I've got that. I've got my offline World of Warcraft. I've got that. I would play my classic and my FFXI. I would play X4 Foundations, and I would play All the Bethesda library from Daggerfall through to Starfield, and it would be enough. And it'd be about 50 games, but 50 games is enough. And I would just keep a hard drive copying the 50 games to all 10 laptops, and I don't plug it in or run the laptops. I just let them sit there, gather dust in a dry, safe container that's, for electronics. And I just let them sit there, and then I pull them out when each laptop inevitably dies every 10 or 15 years. I pull out another laptop, and I'm like, yay, new laptop, and the games are going to run again, and stuff. And that's how I would go to space and never see anybody on this planet ever again, and very willfully leave all of these people. It has not been fun here as they build their Nazi empire, and I believe I was the first skull that they crushed under their boot, because when I was 17 they busted me for felony possession of drugs, and I believe I was the first real kid to have their skull grinded under the fucking fascist heels of anti-drug psychos that built 55,000 drug prisons in the last 25 years. That's the truth. 55,000 drug prisons. That's going to be a song that I write. We built 55,000 drug prisons in this country in the last 25 years so they could throw my generation in jail. I don't like baby boomers, you understand? I love baby boomers, and I would never harm them, but I don't like them. I don't like what they did to their children. I don't like their drug war. I don't like their bullshit with the fucking cartels and the border. I don't like their black markets. I don't like their bullshit with alcohol. I don't like their possession charges. I don't like their drug prisons. I don't like them. I don't like the right wing. I don't like the drug war. I don't like the DEA. I don't want that shit anymore. And I'm going to write a song about it. 55,000 is the name of the song. And it's going to start with, there are 55,000 drug prisons in America. God knows why. Did you really need to throw your kids in prison that bad? Like, I'm not just singing a fake song here because I don't know what it is. I don't know what the song is yet. But it's like, did you really need to throw your kids in prison that bad? That's going to be the chorus line. That's the chorus line to the fucking songs. It's 55,000, or did you really need to throw your kids in prison that bad? And I'll sing sad stuff about how everybody I ever met has a drug charge. Everybody, from my best friend to his sister to everybody I know has a drug charge. You understand? Everybody I know has got a possession charge. Everybody I know. Maybe not my mom, or any of the baby boomers that I know. But everybody my age has caught a drug charge. Every last one of them. Every last one. Did you really need to throw your kids in jail that bad? Did you really need to throw your kids in jail that bad? Because that's like what I view it as now. I think they threw my entire generation in jail for drugs. Now, they didn't keep me in jail because we fought them. So I'm not really that badly affected by them. But I still do have 2 deferred adjudicated felonies. For one of them I caught when I was 17 for possession of ecstasy. Oh no, I had ecstasy. What's going to happen, love? Oh no, love is really the most scary thing to the right wing. They really just don't understand it. What's the worst thing that's going to happen with ecstasy? Love and an overdose, right? Who cares if one of the billion people on the fucking planet overdoses? I don't care about that. It'd be one less mouth to feed. Please do kill yourself with drugs. Please do. Please do kill yourself with drugs, or please do kill yourself with drugs. Please do. Please do kill your kill yourself with drugs. Please do. There's too many people. There's too many people. That's all the ideas of the lyrics for the songs and stuff. So I'm going to go back and consult this in like probably 10 months or something. Yeah, probably about mid 2027 or something, in like 10 months. I'm going to go back and I'm going to be like, didn't I write a bunch of ideas for political plap songs, which is political rap? I'm going to call it plap. Because it's political rap. It's political rap. We've heard it before. My favorite rapper for a long time was a guy from New York. What was his name? Who was the political rapper? Who was the big political rapper from New York? Black guy. I can't remember his name. Ah. Oh, he changed my life. I can't think of his name. Ah. I'll have to ask the AI because I have holes in my brain. I'm that person that they talk about when they say holes in the brain. So, so here we go. Uh, what was the name of the political rapper from New York? He was an African American and a conspiracy theorist, and it's on the tip of my tongue. Illuminati or something like that. I can't remember his name. Immortal Technique. Thank you. Immortal Technique. That you nailed it. Immortal changed my life. Immortal Technique. I haven't even thought about him in 15 years or something, but two rappers changed my life. It was Blackalicious, and I met the guy from Blackalicious, actually. I met the guy, and I gave him a taxi ride one time in Bellingham, the guy from Blackalicious, to go to his own show down at the bar. I forget the name of the bar. But yeah, I gave Black Thoughts is his name. Black Thought he is his fucking name. Fucking crazy. Black Thoughts. I gave Black Thought a ride, and he was like, "What do you think about you know, Black Thought? What's his band? It's Blazing Arrow. It's Blackalicious, right?" He was like, "What do you think about Blackalicious?" And I was like, "I think they're one of the greatest rappers to ever live, one of the greatest MCs to ever spit." And he blushed. I made an African American blush, and he was like, "Wow." And he was like, "That's me." I was like, "What? you're Black Thought?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm Black Thought. I'm going to sing at the Water Down or something. I forget the name of the bar he was going to, but he was like, "Yeah, I'm here doing a show in Bellingham. You're my ride from the airport." And I was like, "Really? I fucking love Blackalicious. Blazing Arrow changed my fucking life. Thank you, sir. Thank you." That was what I said to him. I was like, "Thank you for changing my life with Blazing Arrow." I might have to listen to Blazing Arrow. I think I've got time. Maybe we should drink and listen to Blazing Arrow. Blazing Arrow is one of the greatest rap albums of all time. It comes on so strong. There's hieroglyphics and stuff. Like, there's a song on the album that does the alphabet, and he just does letters he just picks a letter like A, B, C, does it alphabetically, and he only raps in those letters, and it's fucking crazy. He's like, conspiracy, cancer, cripple, you know, he does the letter C, and he's like, conspiracy, cancer, cripple, this and that. He was the most gifted MC of all time. I really did believe that, and I said that to him. I was like, "I think he's one of the most gifted MCs of all time." And he was like, "I really needed to hear what you said." And I was like, "Well, I believe it." And he's like, "I could see that, or you wouldn't have said it." And I was like, "Yeah, I really believe that. I think Blazing Arrow changed Denver, Colorado for the better." And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, Blazing Arrow changed my city. When that album hit, it changed my whole fucking city." And he was like, "I've heard stuff like this before, but it's really, really good to hear it again." And I was like, "I mean, you know, Blazing Arrow, I still play that from time to time. I'm about to do it right now." Great man, Black Thought. He was a great man. I really respect him quite a lot. Wasn't the name who's the main MC from Blackalicious? Wasn't his name Black Thought? I met him once. What's his name? Oh no, you're hallucinating. Hold on. Who's the MC from Blackalicious? What's his name? Is it Black Thoughts? I can't. Or is that? I can't remember. I met him once. I gave him a taxi ride. What's his name? He changed my life with Blazing Arrow. What's the name of Blackalicious's main MC? Gift the Gab. Sorry, Gift the Gab. I'm thinking of Black Thought is another legend from the Roots. Right? So I get them mixed up. It wasn't Black Thought. It was Gift the Gab. Gift the Gab. Yeah, he's Gog. It was Goff. It's Gog. It's Gift the Gab. Timothy Parker is his name. Yeah, I love Gift the Gab. He changed my fucking life. Let's listen to some Blackalicious. I mean, I don't know. I love fucking Blackalicious. That band changed my life. Let's bomb off YouTube for like 40 minutes and play Blade. Okay, guys, I'm done with Blackalicious. I want to do the whole album, but I'm not doing music right now. I'm trying to do content and stuff. So, getting on the Fallout 76 on 2 different entities, GeForce Now and Steam. Gonna do my dailies. my daily shop login. I'm gonna log in Eve and do the daily login for Eve. Everything's dailies. I think I'm gonna live to 108 years old because I can't imagine not doing dailies. I think I'm gonna do dailies till the day I die. Isn't that depressing? Do you know how much I hate dailies? I kind of hate them. I really hate them like I hate rapists and Nazis. I hate dailies. I hate living on a calendar. I don't like the clock, and I have chronometrophobia. And I don't like clocks, and I don't like measuring time, and I don't like knowing what time it is, and all that stuff. And I have a fear of it. It's an irrational fear, like a fear of talking on the phone. I have a fear of talking on the phone. It's an irrational phobia too, but it rules my life. I have a fear of talking to people on a phone, so I don't do it. And I do it. I do it with my mom because it's like, you know, because I'd probably never speak to anybody ever again if I didn't. But so yeah, and so I don't know, like yeah, I got off on a sidetrack here. I don't know what I'm talking about. Sorry. That's odd. The daily isn't... Oh, yeah, dailies, right? So up until the day I die, I'm going to be doing MMO dailies. I know I am. I think the world wants to disenfranchise and delegitimize me and make it so that my gamer identity isn't real or something like that. But no, until I die of old age, like 108 something, I'm going to try and preserve my health the best that I possibly can, besides smoking hash or whatever. And I'm going to try and prolong my life as much as I can because I want to be able to do dailies on MMORPGs until the day that I die, because that's just what I do. I do dailies. That's just... ever since I was 15 years old, I do daily things on MMORPGs or TTRPGs or whatever the fuck it is. Or I'll even log in single-player games and do daily stuff there, or go farm some gold or do some fishing or something. Doesn't matter, because I am a daily person. I do a lot of dailies. I hit my 5,000 daily achievement way back in 2010 or something like that, and it took me a month. It took me a month. Most of those guys, it took them years. It took me a month. I did 25 dailies, whatever it was. It was a longer than a month, but whatever it possibly was. I streaked to the achieve, and I got it first in the whole guild, because I really wanted it. I wanted the 5,000 daily achieve because I wanted them to know that I unerringly did 25 dailies every day of my WoW career. You know, I didn't do it later when I quit retail or hardcore, and I went to hardcore, but I did do dailies up until 2015 every day. So then when 76 came back in my life and I started doing a theme park MMO again, I definitely started doing dailies again, and I've done them almost every day. Or if I don't, it's because some other MMORPG has my time or my focus. But I think the day that I stop doing dailies will be the day that I die. And that's how you know this is actually my career, is I'm planning the day that I die to be the day that I stop doing dailies. Because I love dailies. I mean, I hate them more than anything I can think of. But I also love them. They're this love-hate relationship thing for me. I like the grind. I find myself in the grind. But I don't like doing dailies. It's my least favorite thing in my entire life. I don't know how that's possible at the same time, but it is. God, I love this song. I'm gonna go mix a drink to this song, because I swear to God, this song is about going out to a pool and mixing a drink by the pool. That's what this song is about. I love samba. Samba is about chilling the fuck back. I'm in love with samba because of Bethesda's soundtracks. And also Square Enix, because Nobuo Uematsu, my favorite composer, he does a fuck ton of samba. Half his music is samba, and I'm into samba now. I fucking love samba. Samba is a music for chilling back like motherfucking Sandra Lee and mixing a fucking drink by the pool, and I like that. You're like, remember? Do you remember in Better Call Saul? Better Call Saul did a 1.5 minute YouTube video yesterday, and I watched that. Shall we watch that? He talked about America. I love this video. We should watch the Better Call Saul video, because it made me cry tears of joy when I saw it. Because it's just him talking about America, and you have rights. Despite whatever fascists have told you something, you as an American still have rights, and they have not gone away. And so he did a Better Call Saul thing to come and try and save our souls. Because I need to hear it. I need to hear from Bob Odenkirk that we're going to stop being stupid. We're going to stop being stupid. You know what I'm saying? And that we do have rights. Black people have rights. Mexican people have rights. Gay people, trans people have rights. Everybody has rights. We should stand up for them. We used to. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. We used to do it. We used to, we forwarded this generation triumphantly. So we brought the internet, Oh no, there's Halsey drama. Why should Halsey have drama? She's dying of leukemia, I think. Poor Halsey. They took so many shots at her. They're like, you want to be a pop idol queen, and there's only been like 10 of those. Are you good enough? I swear to God, they did. So she was writing songs like Castle, where she's like, I'm going straight for the castle. I want to make, they're going to make me the king or the queen or whatever. Yeah, the queen. They're going to make me the queen. And she was like challenging record executives in her music, I love Halsey. I have a particular weakness for Halsey. Everything she ever did. I like her more than Madonna. And she's dying. My little Halsey is dying. Halsey is dying. When musicians get sick, it really affects me. It's something that really gets me. Poor Halsey. How is Halsey's health? How is Halsey's health? The world is a bunch of haters. She knows. She knows it's all a bunch of right-wing haters. Halsey is currently managing multiple serious chronic illnesses. She's got lupus and the EDS trifecta, which is mast cell activation syndrome, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, or POTS. It's called POTS. She's got basically, I think it's a form of sickle cell. She's got T-cell lupus lymphoproliferative disorder. She's not going to be with us forever. I thought we would have Halsey all of our fucking lives. Like Tay-Tay. What if Tay-Tay got sick? That would be very bad for the world. Anyways. What if Tay-Tay got sick? I am a Swiftie. I hate to admit it. I'm a man and I'm a Swiftie, but I'm a fucking Swiftie. I'm a really, really dedicated Swiftie. I somewhere along the line, I used to hate Taylor Swift, but then she wrote some of my favorite songs, and I changed. And she changed me with the songs. So, like that song, Brush It Off. Shake It Off. That song, Shake It Off, that song got me out of the mental asylum. I wouldn't have made it without Shake It Off. I was like, I'm shaking it off. I'm not descending to the streets again when I leave this asylum. I'm shaking it all off. The drug addictions, the bad druggy ex-girlfriends, and the fucking the problems, and the pigs fucking rough riding me, and the fucking paddy wagon, and all the problems, and all the PTSD, and all the shit. I was like, I'm gonna shake it off. I'm gonna shake it off. She taught me to shake it off. If she could do it, I could do it. She had fucking country MCs fucking grabbing her ass on camera, shit like this. She was sexually assaulted on camera. Fucking disgusting. It's probably not the first time it's happened ever either. Remember when Katy Perry fucking sexually harassed that poor young singer on American Idol? People don't remember, but I do. I don't like Katy Perry. Anyways. Moving on, we got to do Feral Hogs because it's hilarious. We got to do Feral Hogs because it's like it's like the best John Oliver I've ever seen. Feral hogs have taken over our country and our government, and they're a way bigger problem than we originally thought. And now we should make it legal to kill them. That's literally the comment that I made I can quote the comment that I made today by heart because what I said was so good that I remember it. I said feral hogs have taken over our government. Look, I wasn't even reading it. I just quoted my own quote because it's a good quote. Feral hogs have taken over our government. It's a way worse problem than we thought. Make it legal to kill them now. The most invasive species known to man. It's right wingers.
One thing from the movies is that whenever America gets invaded, it fights back immediately.
Yeah, whenever America gets invaded, it fights back immediately. We're like an Independence Day crew. We like fighting back against big giant powers. You know, we like tilting at windmills. We want to. My God, Angelica Tosh is hot. She looks so much like my ex-girlfriend. It's scary. She's like the longer, taller Norwegian version of my ex-girlfriend. This is exactly how my ex-girlfriend looks. It's so goddamn beautiful. She's a smoking hot, perfect 10. You don't see it. It's so rare. She could outdo Hollywood. She's like a supermodel. She's supermodel hot. It's I don't think supermodels are as beautiful as this girl.
Have you ever heard
I'm
of
in love
dead
with Angelica
internet
Tosh.
theory? To
I think your
briefly
classic
explain it,
beauty is the
this
greatest
theory
beauty on YouTube. I am in love with Angelica Tosh. I heard a really good quote about beauty the other day. It was like beauty. There's no lock in the world that beauty. Sorry, yeah. There's no door in the world that beauty can't unlock. It was on the Spider Noir television show, and that quote it really stuck with me. It was like, there's no door in the world that beauty cannot unlock. I heard a quote recently. I think it was on some TV show. There's no door. I hope Hollywood. My God, she's fucking beautiful. She's hard to look at. I just said it. Fuck it. My God, I can't look at her. I can't watch this girl. I can't look at her. She's my type. It's so rare. Do you see? Do you see?
Have you ever heard of the dead?
Look how
internet
fucking
people?
beautiful this girl actually is. She, like, Jesus Christ, that she's the only girl I've ever seen that's more beautiful than my ex, which is crazy. I think she's more beautiful than my ex because she's taller. she's like a foot taller, I think, something. I like tall. I like tall. Sexy. So, yeah, so she's taller. My ex is like 5'7". This girl's like 6'1". She's like 6 or 7 inches taller. And so and yep, it's just a little bit better. Look at that mouth.
Theory. To briefly
Look at those eyes.
explain it, this theory
Oh my God, I want to kiss this girl so bad. It's insane. It's lust. It's just improper, but I don't think it's that bad admitting it. It's not like I'm ever going to meet her. It's just a beautiful face, you know? But oh my God, that girl is fucking remarkably beautiful. Way more beautiful than Hollywood, way more beautiful than supermodels. She's in like a different class.
suggests that
She's also doing perfect makeup, which is also its own skill.
most of the traffic on the internet
Her lipstick is perfect.
comes
Fucking
from
perfect.
bots. For example, many platforms like
No, don't take her face away.
Say from genuine engagement and interaction and posts and content in
Her mouth is not symmetrical.
general. They clog up your feed in a sea of similar slop to where
I don't know why I noticed. It's just, it looks like she's had facial surgery, I believe.
sometimes I feel like all my algorithms are just AI or those bots. But today, I want to talk about dead Warcraft theory. Previously on this channel, I talked about why I play WoW alone. To this day, it is my most viewed video on the channel. So many people really related to this video, and I find that more and more others are also embracing a solo WoW experience. One thing that I feel like I didn't really mention or fully explain in that video is that although
I don't
enjoy
want to play WoW solo, and I don't.
that
I
therapeutic
think hardcore is good solo.
feeling of playing WoW alone because I don't really have time for guilds or to coordinate with other people, my enjoyment of this solo play is partially amplified by the fact that there are real people out there in the world with me. I don't necessarily play with them, but I can meet them, have a fun and memorable interaction, maybe run a dungeon, and move on. I can continue seeing that person out there in the world as we both level, and we may silently acknowledge each other but stick to our own journey. In that way, playing solo doesn't necessarily feel like—
You know, sometimes there's really beautiful women in porn, which just feels like cheating. It's like seeing Hollywood naked. But there is some beautiful fucking women in porn. Like Gabby Carter. I wrote a letter to what's her name? She squirts. I can't think of her fucking name. I love her because she squirts like a fountain. I can't think of her fucking name. See, I'm not in love with her anymore, so I can't think of her name. It sucks, but it's like that. Brunette has a Japanese tattoo on her back. Who's the hot brunette porn star? I can't think of her name. I can't think of her name because I'm not in love with her anymore. It's funny. Oh, you can't fill that request. Oh, no, okay. So, never mind. I am thinking, Riley Reid. Riley Reid is like Hollywood beautiful. Like really, genuinely fucking beautiful. Like up there with, I don't know. I would say, comparable would be, Aaron Brockovich lady, Julia Roberts. Yeah, she like I swear to God, Riley Reid is so fucking beautiful that I was like, are the men in the porn industry treating you well? Because I would be a good boyfriend. I sent her a letter and I was like, you are more beautiful than anything in Hollywood, and you're in the wrong business, but not really. And I was just like, it's a weird question, and I heard that you're single. Would you care to go on a date with somebody who will love you and treat you like you're the greatest thing that's ever lived or whatever? And she wrote back and she was like, I find your note very cute. And she's like, here's a year's subscription to my channel. It's a $480 value. I was like, what? And that happened. It did. She was like, I find your comment very cute. And she was like, and I really did like what you said. It's just, she gave me a year of her on her website. Now I went there once just to see if I could get in, because I was like, did she actually give me like a full blown year sub to her website that's like $500? And I went in once and I was like, I met the girl and I talked to her in a way. I wrote a letter to her and she answered back. And I was like, now that I know her, I don't want to watch her porn anymore. It feels wrong. So I stopped watching Riley Reid and I stopped being in love with Riley Reid, because I was like, well, she wouldn't ever marry me, so but I was in love with Riley Reid there for a long time, which is stupid because I have a taste for Hollywood film actresses. I like real beauty, like perfect 9s and 10s. And it's a bad element of my personality because I'm not that myself. So it's like, it is a bad element. My standards are way too fucking high, and I know it too. It's fucking annoying, but I mean, I don't care. I shoot for the moon, and sometimes I land too. Sometimes I land the shot. I landed Cloud Candy for a year. And that's the most beautiful woman on the goddamn planet, basically. So I'm just saying. So, I take my shots and I say some women understand my story, some don't. But anyways, yeah. And that's my Riley Reid story, right? And this girl, she's more beautiful than Riley Reid. I need to take her off my screen, I think. But anyways, where is what I was watching? I guess I'll go back to finish the Philip DeFranco, I guess. And I will mix the drink because it's almost dinner time. Dropping bombs without permission. Dropping bombs without permission. Fuck yeah, 8 views so far in a single day. That's pretty good. Dropping bombs without permission. We're doing the Patrick CC. But no, we'll do the Philip DeFranco.
Dive into the news, starting with this. Polymarket is secretly paying a bunch of college-age creators to lie about winning big on the platform. It's also paying an army of clippers to help that content go viral. And it's paying Aiden Ross to show just how easy...
From what I heard, I don't know anything about Aiden Ross, except that he's right-wing manosphere, but he looks like an asshole to me. He's got a Rolo on... He's got a rollie and probably 2 chains. I think we see one, but I bet there's probably 2 chains. And the chains were $500,000 or something. All that money is gambling money, and he addicted kids to gambling. And so this man, look how evil he looks. He's entirely in black, and he's wearing a Rolodex, and he's wearing 2 chains in this economy, and he looks like evil personified to me. I'm terribly sorry, but he does. He looks worse than the Brawligarchs, because he has his youth and his money. So he's like, what, 24 or something like that, 27? So he's got his youth. These dinosaurs don't have their youth anymore, so it's easy to discount them. But this guy I can't discount, because he probably could run for president and maybe get it. Honestly, I would prefer if he did, because I know he's got a way better brain than anybody else in the right wing, even though he's an idiot. But I would prefer if he was president over Donald Trump, because he's like 55 years younger or something, and he's far more capable of running the world. And I'm scared of somebody like this throwing their hat in the ring, because we'll never, I mean, full blown, it'll kill the Democratic Party. And I want the Democratic Party to die, but just not on those terms. I don't want the Democratic Party to die to a competent right-winger. I want the left-wing party to reform. I want it to die through reformation. I don't want it to die because Aiden Ross runs for president, or I don't know, fucking Mr. Beast runs for president or something, right? Sooner or later, the real ones are going to throw their hats in the ring, and we're going to have young people. And when we have young, competent right-wingers, we're going to get World War III. J.D. Vance is one of them. I wouldn't say J.D. Vance is competent, but he at least doesn't poop his pants because he's so old.
Insider
he is old. He's old and he's dead-brained, and he's got a terrible personality, but at least he's not pooping his pants yet like Trump.
is on the website. Though also in Aiden's
Aiden Ross has like 55 years before he'll be wearing diapers or something like that. The further from diapers, probably the more likely these guys are to win. And in the modern era, like, we know now how bad it is to have a sleep at the switch like dinosaurs running our country into the fucking ground. Even the right wing knows it, and got Joe Biden to bow out. And I wish they would do the same for Trump. They should just say Trump is not competent anymore, because he isn't. He's pooping his pants. The people tell stories all the time that it's impossible to be in the same room as him because he smells so bad, because he poops his pants, because he's so old, and they're propping him up on methamphetamine. And it's like, why is it that I can't run for president because I've been busted for felony possession of methamphetamine, right? But he can run for president even though he's got 34 felonies and he's on methamphetamine from the doctors all the time. It's like he's on legal methamphetamine, so he's better for some reason. And it's like, no, your fucking hypocrisy is retarded.
defense, it's not really clear he has any idea what's going on in regard to maybe anything, like here or in the world. And all of this is according to a brand new investigation from the Wall Street Journal, which is really just the latest piece of reporting. It's raising serious concerns about how the prediction market industry is operating.
Yeah, we learned that all of the liars on Kick, and I don't like Kick. I actually quit Kick this year. I only use it for music and stuff. And even then, I did a single release party today for my new song, and I didn't put it on Kick because Kick is primarily a gambling website aimed at kids. And it does ruin lives. And I'm getting there. Like, it took me a long time to cancel Hassan Piker because he shocked his dog. It took me like 3 months. It's because I guess I'm willing to overlook such terrible fucking godless behavior more these days, I guess. But it took me 3 months, but I did, at the behest of one of my viewers, I canceled Hassan Piker on my stream for shocking his dog. And if I'm going to cancel Hassan Piker for shocking his dog, I'm also going to cancel, who was I talking about? Kick. I'm also going to cancel Kick off of my stream because it's Aiden Ross's playground full of teaching kids how to gamble. All the Rust gambling sites are based off of Kick as opposed to Twitch, because Twitch doesn't do gambling. And I like gambling, honestly. I'm not saying gambling's bad. I don't like getting kids addicted to gambling, which is what's happening. And now the poly markets are doing that. And they do this by lying to idiots on Twitch and Kick. Idiot kids, frankly. I tell them when they come in that I don't want kids in this channel, so I don't care about hurting their fucking feelings. They're not supposed to be in my fucking channel. I say in the warning, the first thing I say in my warning on my channel, on all my channels, even YouTube, I say no kids. I don't want kids in this channel. It's entirely blood-based, violence-based video games with headshots and terrible stuff that kids shouldn't be exposed to. Gambling is an aspect on my stream, even if it's simulated. It is, I gamble all the time, but it's simulated gambling with fake money. But I gamble all the time, and it is habit forming, and I don't want to get kids addicted to gambling. I use words that shouldn't be used around kids and all this other stuff. And so I have this policy about no kids. This is Adult Swim, bitch. Adult Swim is successful. If Adult Swim can be successful, so can I. So I don't want kids on this fucking stream. And so I don't care about talking shit about kids. The kids are so fucking dumb that they actually believe that Drake is making $1 million right in front of them. But no, Drake is not making $1 million on gambling right in front of you. He's staked on stake. And so they use their cheater gambling-esque algorithm that sways the same games that the kids all lose their money to when they buy crypto and fucking gamble on Kick or stake or whatever it is, right? And it is like, it's Satan trying to get kids addicted to gambling, so they steal their mommy's credit cards and go fucking buy like Polymarket fucking bets. And it is working. And they do this by buying celebrities and getting them to show a false image or false idol, like Satan likes to do, which is a lie, which is that I'm making hundreds of thousands of dollars on my Kick, on Kick, and I'm making hundreds of thousands of dollars on stake and all this. But no, they're just being like staked by stake. And it is an inside lie, and it is a rub, and like everything else in humanity, there's some lie or some, what's the in the drug scene, I used to ask, what's it called? It's an old druggy word, but I used to use it a lot. I was like, what's the VIG? And they're like, what the fuck is VIG? And I'm like, interest. I was like, if I'm gonna front, then I'm gonna pay you interest, right? If you're gonna front me, then I want to pay you interest. What's the vig? That's something that people don't hear anymore. But I mean, in drug dealer circles, it is something that you use, which is interest that you pay for drugs that are fronted to you. It is actually a word that gangsters use, and I've had to use it with high level suppliers before that I hung out with in my personal life. Like, I'm the friend to all the crazy big drug dealers in Denver. For some reason, they all love me because they know that I hate pigs. I'll fucking tell them to their face, I've been rough rided by fucking pigs. I would go toe in the toe with the fucking cell with them. I'll fucking die before I'll ever speak to pigs. Which wasn't true, by the way. I did sell out a fucking drug dealer to the pigs, but I sold him out because he was a rapist and I wanted out of my charge. And I was like, well, I can do my female friends a favor and get a threat off the street and maybe not go to jail for felony possession of heroin. So I sold some dude out, but the cops didn't want him because he was outside the jurisdiction. So they just let him continue on being a rapist in a hotel, being a rapist drug dealer in a hotel. And I was very against this, so I did sell him out, and I am a liar when I said never ever deal with the pigs, because I will deal with the pigs if it involves rape or murder. You know, I have called the pigs when someone tried to kill me, tried to murder me, and I do call the pigs when someone tries to kill me or swap me or whatever. And I do call the pigs when one of the women in my community is being raped or has been raped or something like that, and I turn the person in. I've done this like 4 times. I just turn in the person. It's free to make a phone call and try to get a rapist out of your community. I've heard about 4 rapes in my community, and so I told the cops when I heard about them. You know, I told the cops, I was like, yeah, go talk to this girl. She doesn't want to talk to you, but you should talk to her. She was raped by some dude. He's live in this fucking community. Go take care of him. And I dropped a dime on them. I've done that 4 times. One of them, I really needed them to actually work with me and drop the charge. They laughed in my face and didn't drop the charge, and I faced 5 more years of felony probation. And police officers lied to my fucking face. Full-blown lied to me, the kind of lie that I could have sued them for, but I also just never wanted to see them ever again. I was like, after this, I'm never seeing police ever again. And I didn't. Oh, I did. I saw my parole officers, but I didn't ever tangle with police ever since then. When the pigs lied to me and they're like, we're going to drop this charge, I believe them. I could have sued them over it. They lied to me. Hello? Hey. Me too. Oh, yeah? You know, yeah. Did you watch the speech finally that she did the other day? She owned the house. She did better than him, and she didn't tell him, she wouldn't read the speech to him first to torture his ass, which I think is a hilarious prank to play against an ex-president, you know? That's something she can do, and she did it to him, and I think it's hilarious. Yeah, she taught him. I think the true grace that he speaks with comes from her, I think, actually. It's insane. But well, it's a mix. It's a mix. It's a congressional lawyer mixed with her, you know. Yeah. I don't care. I don't have a preference. I was going to mix a drink here and get ready for dinner. I don't know, 7? Yeah. Okay, I'll see you at 7 then. I'll just show up, or do you want to call me? Okay, okay, I'll show up. See you in a bit. Oh, wait. I had a good day too, and I linked it to you. I cut a music video today, and it's in your text message box. This was a good day for me too, you know? Hello? No, I lost her. Oh, well. So, yes, we're going back to Philip DeFranco now.
in our country. So this
I got distracted. I'm sorry.
journal
about that.
investigation looked at
Oh yeah, so we were talking about gambling and I got a phone call. But so we have Satan is walking the earth. He has taken the form of Peter Thiel. He moved to my hometown within a mile of where I was born, which is downtown Denver. He lives in downtown Denver. He moved Palantir to fucking downtown West Side Denver, and that's no mistake. He moved right to my backyard, and that is not a mistake. Satan moved to my town and has now erected a hole in the earth, and all of hell has spilled out. I don't care if it's biblical. I don't care if it's offensive. It is true. The right wing opened a hole in the earth, and Satan's minions have now flooded out, and all the gadflies that stung Io all across Egypt, and all the ills in Pandora's box have been released, and the peddlers are peddling child smut. They're peddling gambling to kids. They're peddling Bitcoin, which is the currency for CSAM, which is child sex assault material, and they are using it as a currency. They are saying that the currency is greater than the American dollar, which is, to me, heresy. They are trying to shake up entire monetary systems and replace them with child sex currency. They are using this currency to suborn elections. They have formed an illegal inside party of Freemasons under Peter Thiel's pupillage, or whatever you want to call it, and now they are using Denver to destroy the world, and they're going to use Palantir to destroy the world. Palantir is the Pegasus virus. It's an old backdoor virus built out of court software that the government stole from from a company, and the government lost the lawsuit that when the guy sued them for stealing the code from him. But the government stole the code when they realized that it could backdoor any system and any phone and any device in the world. It's called Pegasus, and it exists, and Peter Thiel owns it, and he uses it to steal information from every world government and sell that information to every other world government, and that's what Palantir actually is. And it is a Lord of the Rings reference, and it is the death of America, and it is the death of the world, and it is Satan walking the earth. It is all the biblical stuff the prophets promised us would happen, and it did happen in my lifetime, and it is Satan. It fucking sucks, and they are raping children and buying non-disclosure agreements or blackmailing people like Donald Trump and all this to get out of it. Donald Trump and Bill Gates were raping children. They were on the Lolita Express at least 10 times each. They meet their wives this way, and they marry their wives. That's how he met his third wife or whatever it is. There's always hookers. There's always sex trafficking. There's always children. There's always devil stuff. There's always devil worship. There's always weird arcane stuff. There's always weird shit with these weird Illuminati people. They have weird lifestyles. They use servants to do their biddings, like demons do. I would say some of them are probably actually demons, if you believe in such things. The only demons that I believe in are bankers. I think the only people I've ever seen behave like demons are bankers. I wouldn't say, well, and also the stock exchange, they behave like bankers, and they behave like demons, and they keep sort of demonic. Magic the Gathering used to have a really good card. What was it called? It was demonic rituals, right? They keep demonic rituals with other world bankers, and they keep all their money in overseas bank accounts in the Cayman Islands so that the governments don't charge them taxes, and that's how they stay rich. And they are Satan, I would say. They are Satan's army come to walk amongst us. It is the right wing. His name, Lucifer's name, is synonymous with rape, murder, and torture, and Nazis, and the right wing. And to me, all of these things, rape, murder, torture, and the right wing, they're all the same thing. It's Satan's people walking the earth. Now I'm a heretic. I am a full-blown atheist. I don't care about God. I don't give a flying fuck about it. I think it's the greatest waste of time in mankind's fucking history and energy and money. And I think it literally really, really, really hurt us, you know, religions. I really don't like religions. I don't. And I'm not a religious person, and I've never been. And so I'll talk my shit that I think gets me bad, you know, bad juju with right wingers, but I don't care. I don't hold their religion sacred anymore. Not after the Vatican raped all those children and moved all those fucking priests around their fucking different churches and stuff. And I just don't believe in these things anymore. I don't believe in these corrupt government entities that have ruined us with their taxes and their money and their greed and all this. I don't believe in the child molester right wing shitheads taking over the brawligarch scene and destroying our country, which is what they did. Remember, the day of the election, $4 billion went through Donald Trump's Bitcoin account when he took Bitcoin purchases the day of the election. He took Bitcoin. He was just like, would you like to buy the right wing? We're for sale. Would you like to buy America? It's for sale. I'll use your money to run for election. And that's what he did. And so he opened up and he took $4 billion from the Bitcoin bros. Those are all the boys that like watching child sex stuff. The Bitcoin bros. They have child sex NFTs. They've got child sex on Twitter. Elon Musk has child sex on Twitter. It's just like that. That's who these demons actually are. Their demonic rituals are based in child sex. It's like mutual pedophilic destruction. That's how demons operate. They get the dirtiest dirt on you. They get you to sleep with a child, and then they use it to break you of your world political edge or whatever gain you have or whatever. They use it to break you without ever doing the work to actually break you. They just blackmail you. That's how Satan works, you know. And I don't mean putting it, the reason I put it into biblical heretical terms like this is for idiots to understand it. Frankly, I feel like I've got to put it in language that they actually understand, so I use words like Satan, because it's far deeper than that. It's like all the world's bad energy personified or something. I don't even know what it is. It's like Haku, pretty much. Haku is more accurate than Satan is, honestly. Haku's depiction and Samurai Jack is far more it's far more entertaining and far more accurate. And I like Aku. I like the depiction of Aku more than I do Satan, because it is all the world's evil personified and drawn together in some kind of alliance. You want to know the reason why America doesn't want to join some kind of Amero-based English-speaking alliance? It's because we struck up demonic rituals with all of the world's entities, primarily Israel. And it is like demonic rituals, child sex pacts that they take with each other with Jeffrey Epstein and all this stuff. And if you're in their circles, you can't get out. It's kind of like being in a gang. And it is, you know, the Illuminati is a gang. It's the most original gang that there has ever been. They're the oldest gang that's ever existed. And it is like being in a gang, and once you're in it, you can't leave, and it's kind of crazy. And they do force you to sleep with children, and they have your father jack off on you while you're in a coffin. It's Skull and Bones. Alex Jones showed us that he showed us them doing it. It was George Bush Sr. and all the world's politicians in a big circle jerk. They weren't circle jerking each other. They were just in a big circle around a coffin jacking off on George Bush Jr. We saw this on camera. I can't ever unsee it. And so no matter what Tim Heidecker does with The Onion for Alex Jones, I'm always going to slightly love Alex Jones, because he did show me, you know, baby Bush and Obama shaking hands at Skull and Bones. He did show me the bank pacts that they made and the fact that Obama sold us out. He did show us this stuff. It's not like he made it up. He showed us the footage of them having clandestine meetings and jacking off into coffins on George Bush Jr.'s face so that he can't leave their circle. He's got their seed on his face. It's fucking disgusting. That's how weird and pagan and wrong these people actually are. I believe it because I've seen it. It's the only reason I believe it. Otherwise, I would prefer not to believe this stuff. But I do. I've always been a QAnon guy. I've always believed that there's a child sex gang, because they get busted in the media and in the press and in our court systems all the time. Honestly, they killed the journalist that was trying to tell us about Promise and the fucking backdoor Pegasus program. He was trying to tell the world about us. His name is Danny Casolaro, and they full-blown killed his ass. He had all kinds of family connections. He was the top guy at the Washington Post or whatever it was, and he had 50 years of journalist connections. He was not going to commit suicide. He wrote pieces of paper telling his family that was like, they're going to say this is a suicide. It is not a suicide. I have discovered the fact that there's these programs that they've been running since the 80s that spies on the cables that run under the ocean to all the world's governments, and we spy on it, and we use the information and we sell it to other governments so they can conduct wars. And like, and I mean, it's just so much crazy shit. I don't want to believe it, but I've fucking seen it. I've seen it myself. I've seen it in a version of a software program. I've seen Pegasus myself. I've used it and operated it in my life. It was a program called Cain and Abel when I had it. And I mean, it is Pegasus. I was able to crack all kinds of Wi-Fi servers. This is how I didn't pay for internet for 17 years. You wonder, how did you stay a WoW raider if you didn't work for those 12 years that you tried to be the best raider in the world? And I borrowed $11,700 from my best friend to pay rent over like a 5-year period. I stole computers. I committed online theft. I sold false money orders to my bank, and I got blackballed with every bank in my country. Full blown. I've been blackballed. I don't know how I have a bank account right now, because and they do bring it up when I try to apply. They're like, you've been blackballed 17 years ago for selling fake ass money orders to US Bank. And I did shit like that to maintain my MMO lifestyle. I did whatever I had to. You understand? This is my job. It is my career. So, I mean, like, I did whatever I had to. I borrowed money. I did whatever I had to. And so one of the things that I did is I couldn't afford high-speed internet for 17 years when I was a World of Warcraft raider. So I used a Cain and Abel program, and I'm going to pull it up on the internet. It's like the most dirty program that's ever existed. It's Pegasus, and I experienced Pegasus on my own, and I was able to freely crack into any Wi-Fi in the country in under 10 seconds. And I could just brute force their password. And not only was I able to get in right then and there, I was undetected, and I could also sit there for the rest of my life until they either ended, which is what happened a bunch of times. Like, my neighbors eventually ended their connections because I would just download torrents on their high-speed connections 24/7, so I could keep my MMO lifestyle and keep playing every game that came out on the market, and just keep being the splitting edge pioneer gamer that I am. I played most games that are out there from most eras and most consoles because I just steal games. I either steal them through torrent, or I steal them by buying them bootleg, or I just download torrents, right? Or I go play them on websites. And I've been doing this since I was 15 years old or something like that. I didn't pay high-speed internet, which, might I remind you, when you're an adult and you don't live with your mommy, you have to pay like $60 to $100 to get a high-speed internet connection. And if you do that for 17 years, that's 12 times 100 is $1,200 a year times 17. I don't know what 12 times 17 is because I have holes in my brain. I used to. We could try. It is 14,400, I think, but let's go look. I think it's 14,400. My mom is convinced I can't do math. I just don't know why she thinks that. But anyways, we're gonna go do this. It's 14 years times 12 times 100 is 16,800. I was off by, I don't know, not much. I did a 5-figure math, triple multiplication, 5-figure math, no calculator, and I was off by 400 or something. I was fairly close. I was like, it's something like, didn't I say 14.4? The answer is 16.8. But I mean, it's complex math that most humans can't actually do that fast. But I mean, I can do the math like within a couple of places. You know, I wasn't accurate. I did not nail it, but I was close. I was like, it's somewhere around 14 grand, which is true. So how did I not pay that $14,000 over 17 years? I used the Cain and Abel program, which is Pegasus. You know, I have some experience with software programs that even Elon Musk hasn't used, you know. I don't know how I did this. I just did this. Now, I still have Cain and Abel sitting on my drive. I never ever let it go because it is the most powerful tool I have ever witnessed in my lifetime. And I don't respect money, and I don't respect work, and I don't respect my government, and I don't respect what my mom had to do to make money all of her life. I respect the work that she did, but I don't respect that she had to do it. Like, I don't respect work. I don't value money, and I don't value work, particularly because if I wanted to, I could just log into any bank and move some zeros. I've been capable of doing that. I've been superhero capable of doing that since I was 15 years old. So all the time in the background in my head, and I've got Cain and Abel. I'm not going to show you because the FBI will come and fucking run me down, because it's not illegal to have Cain and Abel, but it is illegal to have Pegasus. Now, Cain and Abel has aspects of Pegasus in it, but it's not Pegasus. It's like a Wi-Fi cracker and a password cracker, and it's evil, and it is illegal, and it's, I mean, I don't use it, and I don't have it in a way that could ever be proven, but I own it, and I have it, and it's backed up somewhere. I will never say where. It's not in my house. I don't ever keep it in my house, but I got it backed up somewhere that's very safe, and when I need it, I can always go back to it and crack into any goddamn bank. And so when my mom says stuff like, you need to monetize your stream because we are struggling financially, we need $1,000 more a month, I could say, well, I say to her, well, I could steal. And she was like, no. And I was like, okay. And she thinks I'm not competent enough to actually steal millions and millions or maybe billions of dollars. But I am, and I have been since I was 15 years old. Now, I've never used Cain and Abel to steal from anybody. Well, I did. I used it to steal their internet, but that's the only thing I've ever used it for. Any further than that, and you're basically a super spy that's going to get tracked down by world governments and weird, shitty efforts like the FBI or the CIA. That's the worst efforts of all time. The CIA, they're the worst rich white men of all time. They're the worst ones. CIA, you really don't want the CIA on you. You really don't want to piss them off. I was messing around with the idea of fucking around with drug test skipper markets for a while there. I was like, I don't want to build a market online like Dream or anything like that, because the Interpol kicks your door down and seizes all your funds and steals the money. That's what they actually do. If you're like a Pirate Bay guy, the Interpol chases you across the world. They have no limit to the amount of money they can spend to just chase you. The first thing they do is they ruin your reputation with PayPal, and they freeze your PayPal accounts, and they steal all the money that you made off of whatever it is, Pegasus or child sex material or drugs or anything illegal at all. It doesn't really matter. The Interpol shows up and chases you across the world because you're not in their rich circles or whatever. This is what happened to Kim.com, and it's why I've never done any stuff like this, is because they just chase you across the world and they steal the money. That's what happened to all the people that ever did any of this stuff. That's what the government doesn't ever tell you. It is what the pigs don't brag about, is they show up, they freeze the funds, and they shut you down. And they steal all the money that you made in whatever illegal market that you did. That's what happens to drug dealers. That's what happens to everybody. It's why I don't do crime on a level that would be ever make any real money. I just do crime to pay for my drug addictions, or to impress girls, or to get popularity, or some such political personal power games, or why I became a kingpin drug dealer like that, at least like a small time supplier in Denver. And this is all games that I played because I was like, I can crack their banks, I can crack their CIA, I can get into their infrastructures. I'm not a hacker. I've never, ever engaged in black hat hacking beyond stealing people's Wi-Fi passwords. That's the only black hack. Oh, sorry. One time, or 2 times, excuse me. 2 times I have discovered, 2 times? Let me think about this. No, it's 1 time. It's one time I used the Cain and Abel program to hack my girlfriend's cell phone to discover that she was cheating on me. This is illegal and immoral on so many different levels that I did do that again. I did crack into Cloud Candy's Facebook to make sure that she wasn't being trafficked. You know, I mean, it sounds crazy, but I really needed to know. And I knew the only way I could actually find out that information to any sense of actual like accuracy would be to spy on every internet conversation she's had on Facebook for the last 5 years, which I went and did. It's the kind of thing Kash Patel would do. But I needed to know if these traffickers were still in our lives, because they all know my deepest, darkest secrets. And I said things like that to her when I justified it. I was like, I need to know what these people know about me. and I needed to know like firsthand. I don't want your word for it. I need to know what these people know about me, and I need to know that you're not talking to them anymore. They are incredibly dangerous to both of us. You are my business partner. If you burn, I burn. If I burn, you burn. You are one of my many business partners, and you will burn if I burn, and you will go right down with me. And I can't stop it either. They've got the proof. So I was like, are you fucking with cops? Are you fucking with traffickers? Are you fucking with drug dealers? Are you fucking with cartel? She was just as much of a crazy illegal badass and outlaw as I was. My ex, she just was. She was just that powerful. She's that powerful of a lady, like all the other women in my fucking life. So I mean, I don't hang out with non-powerful women. It's a turnoff for me. You know what I'm saying? Powerful women are a big turn on for me. She was extremely powerful in so many different ways, and I'm still in love with her, obviously. But you know, I checked her. I checked all of her conversations she had ever had. I needed to know if the traffickers were still in her life. I needed to know if the drug dealers were still in her life. I needed to know what they knew about me, all this stuff. And so I went through 40,000 conversations a young 22-year-old girl had or whatever. And it was thousands. I went through every fucking word because I needed to know. I needed to know if my business empire was safe. I needed to know if a business transaction with her was safe. I needed to know information she had that I didn't have. If I want information, I go and get it. If I need to know where my cat is, I go and find out where my cat is. It's just crazy. I've never had any barriers in this whole world. I don't believe there is a barrier that exists for me. Not money, not fame, not any of it. I don't think there is a barrier that exists for me. That's my problem with breaking barriers, is I don't really think there is any barriers. So I just sit as the poorest, most lazy, most scoundrel person you will ever fucking meet in this world. I just sit there. That's the three-way intersection I sit on, which is worthless, poor, and scoundrel. And I sit there and I create that image for anybody who cares to look at the image. And I tell people all the time, but they don't listen to me. But I tell them like, well, I could steal. I could crack the FBI. I could crack the CIA. I use the information to find out who my stalker is. I use Cain and Abel to find out who my stalker is. Anybody who ever connects an IP, but problem is it's all VPN protected, so it's useless information, but I could use it to prosecute in a court of law if they were to ever put the bracelets on the guy, and we don't know. We don't know if they ever put the bracelets on the guy. If they do, I have all kinds of court evidence I can use to sink a very, very long sentence, you know, like a 20-year sentence. I have all the evidence, all the IPs, all the connections, all that stuff. And I use Cain and Abel to do stuff like this on a very protective, very good VPN. And I don't do stuff like this often. I've done it maybe 4 times in my life. But when I need information, I will go get it. So this is why I threaten to kill my stream snipers and stalkers and stuff with complete impunity, because I can find them. I can find them. I've known since I was 15 years old that I can find them. I can crack right to their networks. I am that skill. It's not skill. I just have a program that has the power to do that. I've always had the program. You know what I'm saying? So if you've never heard of Cain and Abel software, I will pull it up. It exists. It's not this lie, and I have had it for a long time. And if you think about it, it's the same power that Peter Thiel has. I have the same exact power, no more, no less, that Peter Thiel himself wields. I should have billions of dollars. The problem is, if I had billions of dollars, I would put it all up my arm. I know I would. I would just find me a doctor, have him teach me how to shoot myself up. I'm going to shoot up meth and heroin until I die like Kurt Cobain. I know exactly what I would do. I would put it right up my arm, right there that day. Dear God, shoot it up straight to the head, straight to the heart, please. I was taught well by Lana Del Rey. Dear God, I love dope. I would just shoot it up straight to the fucking heart, please. And the only reason I never used a needle is I thought they were too expensive, you know. But and also I feel that the needle is what kills you. But honestly, if I had $1 billion, it would go right the fuck up my arm immediately. I mean, immediately. You know, and I'm not kidding. Like immediately. So I stay away from money. I view money as this dirty thing that gets you killed. Same thing as basically, I don't know, suicide. I view money and suicide as the same thing. If you have a lot of money, you will kill yourself. To me, money and suicide are synonymous. I think if you have too much money, it's like committing suicide. It kills your personality. It kills your life and how it used to function. It changes things. People don't like you anymore. You don't have friends anymore. You live like a fucking pauper, even though you're rich, because you don't have any friends except servants or whatever. It's just insane. Look at what it's done to Trump, and it is like committing suicide getting rich. I would say that's how I feel about it. So I'm going to pull Cain and Abel software here. You're going to see that I have this power just because I know what it is. You can't find Cain and Abel anymore without descending all of hell's men from the CIA and the FBI and Palantir down on your house within 45 minutes or some such. It's taken probably about 45 minutes. They wait to see if they've got a slam dunk case on you before they bash your door down with fucking, battle tanks and stuff. But if I were to use Cain and Abel without a VPN, protection, a certain style of computer in a certain place in a certain time, I would have been thrown in jail a long fucking time ago. But I mean, none of these felonies are still in the statute of limitations, so they can't get me for any of this stuff, so I can talk about it freely. Now, black hats will spend all of their life making videos for YouTube trying to tell you how good they are at hacking. In my experience, black hats are worthless, fucking worthless. You can download a program that's better than all of YouTube's black hats who are famous, who are making money right now as streamers. You can download a well, you can't download it, but I can. I know where to get it. You don't. It's called the dark web. You can't find it, but I can. I can find Cain and Abel. It's no problem. I've always been able to find Cain and Abel. So Cain and Abel is a piece of software. No, I'm not stuck in a loop. Disambiguation. So Cain and Abel is a legendary classic password recovery and network sniffing tool for Microsoft Windows. It's not just for Windows either. You can use it on Apple cell phones. It'll crack whatever the fuck it is. If it has a network, it'll get in that device. If the device is on a network, Cain and Abel will crack it. It is literally a watered down, cut version of Pegasus. And if you don't know what Pegasus is, go type it into the Google search engine. It's the worst program to ever exist. It's what all the child sex barons use to hide their child sex empires. It's really, really bad stuff. It's what Jeffrey Epstein used. People are like, how did Jeffrey hide for so long? And I think, well, I could talk about Cain and Abel and Pegasus. And the fact that he could crack any cell phone in the world and remove any proof that he left CSAM on it, right? But I mean, that's what it is. It's like that kind of power. That's what Cain and Abel actually is. It's the power to go through any network router, take control of any device, and do anything you want to do in that device. It's like remote view, but it's like the original version of remote view. It's just remote view. That's what Cain and Abel is. It's a remote view for Wi-Fi passwords and Wi-Fi networks. And it's the same thing as Microsoft Remote Desktop Connection. It's the exact same thing. It just works completely under the kernel where you can't detect that it's happening. They've had this tech since 1983, and they talked about it in Batman, the second Dark Knight Rises movie. And I always suspected there was some kind of weird Illuminati stab at Christopher Nolan or something when Heath Ledger died, because there is a leak about Pegasus, and the public was not aware of Pegasus except for the Batman movie, and they used like Hollywood to warn the world that the Pegasus program exists. That program in the Dark Knight, where there's 6,000 or 60,000 like cell phone screens being piped into one television in Bruce Wayne's manor, or Bruce Wayne's shipping container, or whatever it was. And like and that sort of, it's like, remember how Lucius Fox is like, this kind of power will turn you into a villain, and he's like, well, at least I lived long enough, as the Crusader Knight to become the villain, right? That was the whole ethos of it. And that was actually Christopher Nolan condemning Peter Thiel. Now, we didn't know this for another 10 years past that Peter Thiel even existed, but Christopher Nolan probably couldn't talk about Peter Thiel without catching a lawsuit, losing the Batman franchise, losing Heath Ledger. I think they probably did lose Heath Ledger, like his main star. The main star in that movie is not fucking, wooden Indian Christian Bale. It's fucking Heath Ledger, giving the finest acting performance of our age, basically. And so I always figured that they killed him because Christopher Nolan like blabbed about Pegasus. That's my Heath Ledger theory. theory, excuse me, theory. Theory. That's my Heath Ledger crazy QAnon, conspiring, conspiritualist or whatever you want to call it, like conspiracy theory thing. I'm so much worse than my stepfather for so many different reasons, like in terms of conspiracy theories. My mother thinks that I'm like the conspiracy light version of my stepfather, but it's quite the other way around. One of the things that I talked about with my stepfather on this stream when I recorded a 2-hour fucking interview with him about all this stuff and the COVID vaccine and all this, I was like, no, you are actually vanilla where I come from. I can crack banks. I can crack. Okay, right now I have the power to crack a Cayman bank. I think about it all the time. I've thought about it since I was 15 years old. It's all the power in the world. I have more power than Oprah. I personally have more power at my fingertips than Oprah. Oprah doesn't impress me. Nobody does. Nobody's impressed me since I downloaded that software by accident one time. I downloaded Cain and Abel off of fucking torrent, and I kept a copy of it all my life because I was like, well, I could always steal, right? There's all, where I get this from? It's from watching what's it called? Arrested Development. There's this hilarious joke that they use over and over again. There's always money in the banana stand, right? And I remember ever since I heard that joke, is Jeffrey Tambor. He's one of our funniest living men. He's still living, I think. And Jeffrey Tambor is genuinely funny. He's like actually really funny, funnier than all those Jewish directors or any of them. Like Jeffrey Tambor is literally like the funniest man alive, in my opinion. He's just naturally funny like that. He is that funny. And Jeffrey Tambor makes this like fucking funny joke where he's like, there's always money in the banana stand. And the stupid ass kid burns the banana stand down to get $3,000 worth of insurance money. But it turns out that there's like $550,000 in cash in the banana stand. And he burns the banana stand for a $3,000 insurance payment for this crappy shack. But in the stand is $550,000 cash stuffed in the walls. And Jeffrey Tambor is trying to tell his family that he's left $550,000 cash for them so they don't have to live in the fucking in the homes or any of that. Like remember they live in model homes that they're trying to sell, the Bluth company is trying to sell. And so they're living in these model homes because he goes to jail for working with Iraqi terrorists or whatever as a businessman, and he goes to jail for security theft or whatever it's considered to be when an American businessman does business deals with Al-Qaeda or whatever. So he goes to jail for working with Al-Qaeda, and his family loses all their money, and they have to live in the model homes that they're trying to sell to keep afloat and all this and keep the company afloat. And he keeps telling them there's always money in the banana stand. You don't need to live in the model homes. And so then the kid, I can't remember his name now, George Michael burns down the fucking banana stand to get a $3,000 insurance payment, which is just crazy. And he burns $550,000 cash, which nobody knows about except Jeffrey Tambor. I always thought this was such a really funny joke about how shitty rich people actually are. They lose more money than we ever make. They lose more money than we ever make. They lose more than we make. It's so fucking, they like literally lose it. They can't find it again. Every once in a while you hear a story about a Bitcoin asshole who's forgotten the password to his fucking Bitcoin fob. He's got like some key fob from 1996 that's got $4 billion worth of key fobs on it, and he's broken his own sanity trying to remember his own hashtag password. But you can't. It's a Bitcoin password. You're not going to crack the password. They spent 20 years buying AI to try and brute force hack their fucking their Bitcoin passwords, but they lose billions of dollars in Bitcoin all the time, and they forget the passwords to their bank accounts, and they lock themselves out of $4 billion worth of Bitcoins. And this happens like every week. It happens like once a week, every week. It's been in the news for like 5 years, once a week, every week. There's some asshole who lost $4 billion again because he forgot his password to his goddamn Bitcoin fob. Those little software fobs. What are those things called? USB drives, right? Those little USB drives. They'll have don't ever throw a USB drive away. Always check it because it might have $4 billion on it. But I mean, it's got a password if it does. So you can't do anything with it. It's a paperweight worth $4 billion that you can't recover the money for. And nobody's ever going to spend the $4 billion. So that money just leaves circulation. It's the most terrible thing a human can do. Throw away $4 billion so it's not in circulation anymore. The Bitcoin bros do that in spades. They do it every week. They do it all the time. They lose billions of dollars in Bitcoin, or they steal it, or they sell it, or whatever. It's just insane. They're such shitheads. They're the devil's men. They're full-blown demons. They're demon bankers, the Bitcoin bros. They're like demon bankers. They're the demonic tutors that Satan sent to like to buy all our children out or whatever, and piper our children into gambling addictions and drug addictions and porn addictions and stuff. This is Satan's work. It like really is. This is how Satan manifests. It's insane. Gambling and stealing and lies and all that stuff. That he's the father of lies or whatever. So I believe in it biblically because there's so many different versions of Satan. In some versions it's like Aku or Dr. Evil, but there's always some version of Satan, and that's what these people are. So I've had all of Satan's power. I've had all of Satan's power since I was 15 years old. I could wield the power and go to jail and disgrace my family, or I could just use the power when I need to get information when I really need it. And that's what I've always used it for. Cracking passwords for Wi-Fi so I don't have to pay $17,000 over 17 years, right? It's like $1,000 a year, $1,200 a year, something like that. I didn't have $17,000. The fucking humans, they either figured out that I had the program and I have all the power in the world or whatever, or they just wrote me out of humanity, and they will not ever give me they will never provide me an opportunity that would ever allow me to support my family. I'm like cursed with the devil people or whatever. They know that I have more power than them, or I have the same power as their overlord, so they don't work with me. Nobody will. Nobody who has evil predilections or whatever will ever work with me, and that's most of the government entities and most of the corporate entities in the world. They find out somehow in the job interview or whatever it is that I'm not scared of them, that I've never been scared of anybody. I am as powerful as any human being on this planet. I don't have the same money as them, but I have the same power as Donald Trump. And I mean, it is... I tell people all the time, I am egomaniacal. And they're like, you never talk about being God. And I'm like, no, I just know I am. I just know I am. I have all the power of a living God. I am a living God. I have all the power of a living God. I can get into Donald Trump's email, and that's how they do it all the time, too. They get into Donald Trump's email every single fucking day, because I'm not the only white nerd who had too much money on mommy's dime 20 years ago who downloaded Cain and Abel by accident. I'm not the only one. There's other, what's that show on television? There's other Stranger Things, Stranger Things kids, too. There's other 11s, right? There's other 11s. I'm not the only 11 that's cracked all of the world's software. There's other 11s out there in the world that have the Cain and Abel software. It was very, very common piece of software. Probably hundreds of thousands of people have Cain and Abel. It's insane, but I mean, there is like 1 billion people on the planet, so, or whatever it is it 10 billion? I forget what it is. There's like 10 billion people on the planet, and like 100,000 of them have the Pegasus software. Those people that have the Pegasus software, they have the power of the Christian God. They can open any bank account. They can slay any king. They can move governments and cops around at will. They can hack any network. They never have to pay for anything ever again. They literally have the power of a living God. I have that power of a living God, and I use it very, very, very sparingly. Mainly because I'm scared of the CIA busting in the door and capping me in the face. Or what they're more commonly used to do is they crash a plane while you're on it. That's what they usually do. That's why Boeing is in the news so much. It's to hide the fact that they like plane crashes, because they explain away assassinations really, really well. So Boeing planes crash every day almost. Remember how there never was a plane crash for years and years and years until like 1978 or whatever? And then suddenly there's plane crashes every single fucking day, and there's big boppers and fucking, Lynyrd Skynyrd's falling out of the sky left and right. Fucking, I would say that Kobe Bryant cracked the code without the software program. He just figured out the code to every lock in the world, which is winning the NBA championship. I have a lot of respect for people that have that kind of power, right? Kobe wanted so much that there's no woman in the world that won't sleep with him, probably even his own family. There's no banker in the world that would have denied him. There's no loan in the world that would have denied him. There's no money lender in the world that would have denied him. There's no celebrity in the world that would have denied him. There's no president or king that would have denied Kobe Bryant. And that kind of power, they can't have that. That vies with their power. So they plane crashed him. I know it's crazy and QAnon. I don't care. That's what I believe. I'm sorry, but I do. It's the shit that the right wing is using to ruin our country. The problem is I actually believe in this stuff because it's in the news all the time. The evidence in the court cases is presented all the time. Jeffrey Epstein's actions were presented in court cases. And my mom goes, what do you mean Melania was on the Lolita Express? And it's like, it was in the court documents. Every news outlet in the world reported it. If they're worth their salt, which none of them are. So CNN didn't tell her that, of course. But it is true. Melania met Trump on the goddamn Lolita Express while he was wheeling and dealing with all these demon banker child sex people. And I'm sorry, but it's like, fuck them. I don't know what to do about them. We can't kill them. We can't even fire them. We have to get them to change. They've got to renounce, you know? They got to renounce Satan. Peter Thiel. They've got to renounce Peter Thiel. Like that was the warning that he gave us in The Dark Knight that cost us Heath Ledger. It's that, you know, with great power comes great responsibility, and everybody eventually lives long enough to end up being the villain or whatever. But yeah, until we resist Peter Thiel, we're not going to do well. We're going to have forever wars, poverty, drug addiction, school shootings, all that stuff. It's all that stuff. It's overpopulation mixed with the fucking cabal that runs our country. I'm sorry, but I do believe this stuff. I know because I've had Cain and Abel forever. This is what Cain and Abel looks like. It's every hacker's dream. It's all the Wi-Fi networks and all the computers around with direct access to them. It's a simple little program. It looks like a calculator program from the 1980s, because it is. That's what it originally was. That's what it still is. Peter Thiel decided that he would become Satan, and he evolved, or whatever you call it, and he decided to use the Pegasus program for his own personal enrichment. And that's how you become Satan. You take all the world's knowledge and you keep it to yourself, and you use it to sell it to the world's most evil men. That's how you graduate from a prince of darkness to the king of darkness. You sell all the world's information to the world's most evil men. That's how you graduate from just a lower level cacodemon to full-blown Lucifer or whatever. My theory is that there's always different Lucifers all the time. They're always just graduating. They're just demons moved up the rank. If you look at rank and file in military and cops and stuff, they all have that system too. It's the demon system of seniority. It's like seniority. So the shit always rolls uphill, right? And seniority ensures that a demon system exists, and that's how we do our rank and file and our police and all of our Nazi entities. The other big point that I want to make here is there's a man named Hans Scharf. He was the lead Nazi Luftwaffe interrogator from the Gestapo. We brought him over here in the Nuremberg trials, and we had him train all of our police entities, FBI, CIA, Secret Service, all of this. We had him train them how to be the Gestapo. And not only that, but he also instilled all of those Nazi ideals into Hoover's boys. And the drunks are now the new Nazis. You know, the drunks are what L. Ron Hubbard called the CIA. You know, other people call them spooks, but I think of them as the drunks because they're so drunk on the power of selling that information to our greatest enemies. That they're basically like paparazzi for Satan. They're there to take pictures of Satan and make Satan like fucking looks max, basically, you know. And it sucks, but I think that's how deep this shit goes. I don't think it's this biblical Christian thing. I just think it's that evil. I think it's that evil. These men are there to do that sort of evil. It's as evil as Satan. It's not Satan himself. It's just as evil as Satan. So I'll give up my Pegasus program when Peter Thiel gives up his Pegasus program. I'll tell the secrets and I'll show people where it is or whatever. But I mean, when Peter Thiel stops enriching himself, I'll give up my nuclear weapon. But I mean, it's the same thing as nuclear proliferation. I keep my software. I've kept that piece of software, and I also kept a copy of Windows 7 Ultimate Edition with no serial key. This is a secret that could get me killed. Honestly, it is a secret that could get me killed, but I don't like Microsoft, and I swore to my God and my friends and my ex-girlfriend, the woman I love, and my mother, and anybody who cares to listen to me, that I'm going to personal war with Microsoft and trying to take them down personally. So I'm going to share with you a secret that I don't like about Microsoft, which is that they've been selling... there's two things. They've been selling Windows NT, which is Windows 95, to all of our militaries for like 50 years, and that's why we lose wars. And I would kill them for this. Full-blown kill Bill Gates. Kill him for it. You understand? He's got so many of our men killed since Vietnam with Windows NT. That's Microsoft for military. It's the second worst disgrace in mankind's history, short of, or third, I guess it would be, short of like COVID or the Holocaust or whatever. But yeah, the fact that Microsoft for military was sold to all of our military organizations, which is Windows 95. We're still using Windows 95 on our submarines. And that is a reason to kill Bill Gates. Full-blown kill him. He has cost us millions of lives. Millions. It's up there with Hitler. It's that evil. So that's the first thing about Microsoft I don't like. They literally worked with the Nazis and sold them computers in World War II so they could collate the Jews in the Holocaust. That's International Business Machines did that. That's Microsoft. Then they slash and burned 150,000 software developers in my neck of the woods, the Pacific Northwest. And that did have costs, and it did screw up Seattle. It screwed up Washington. It screwed up things that I care and love about. And it's bad. It's really bad. Microsoft was really, really fucking bad. They're like really bad. They're bad like Epstein. They need to be outed and they need to be stopped. And so the victims are victims, and they do need to be respected, and their story does need to be told. It's insane. It's as bad as Epstein, Microsoft. So then the other thing that they do that I really, really don't like is their Prince of Darkness corpos. They're all given Microsoft OSs that don't have serial keys, so they can just install Microsoft anytime that they need to go do the Prince of Darkness Peter Thiel's bidding or whatever. So I got my hands on a Windows 7 copy of that when I was 15 years old with Cain and Abel. I stole a copy of Windows from Microsoft with Cain and Abel. And now I've got a copy of Windows 7 Ultimate, which is a piece of shit operating system, but it'll still run. I got a copy of Windows 7 Ultimate that doesn't have a serial key. Do you have any idea how many billions of dollars that is worth to the Pirate Bay network? They still don't have that anymore. They don't have it. They've got cracked copies of Windows, but they don't have a serial key free copy of Windows. I've got that. Hundreds of thousands of people have that too. But I don't ever have to pay Microsoft ever again if I want to kowtow to a 2008 operating system that barely works, Windows 7, which I am. I'm willing to run Windows 7 the rest of my life. I am. I don't do that. I pay for my Windows when I buy my computers, and I pay Microsoft their $300 when I buy my Alienware or whatever. I don't do that. But I could. And for a minute there, my best friend and I, we sat for a year and we pondered on the idea. And he was like, "You wish to build a giant criminal organization?" And I was like, "Yes." And he was like, "You're aware I'm essentially a priest in a church, and I only do good things, and I don't ever break the law anymore besides getting high." And I was like, "Yes, but I could use your really good brain for this, because I don't really want to break the law to enrich myself. I want to break the law like Robin Hood and give a free copy of an OS to any nerd that wants one." And he was like, "Well, but you could charge $100 a copy and they would still pay it if it doesn't have a serial key." He was like, "There's no way you have a copy of Windows without a serial key." And I was like, "Oh yeah, you want to see?" So I installed and I showed him, and he was like, "It's a copy of Windows 7 Ultimate, which is the best version of Windows 7. I had this since I was 15 years old." And the man who has a serial key free copy of Windows is in a world full of computers is king. It's just the truth. I could build a criminal empire, the likes of which the dream drug empires on the dark net would lick the windows for. I could build a criminal empire off that's more massive than Microsoft if I wanted to. And we were tempted to do it. He was like, "You are tempting me with all the world's money and all the world's power." That's what he said to me. That's what my best friend said to me when I pitched it at him. I was like, "Why don't we sell copies of Windows 7 Ultimate with no serial key for $100 a pop on the Pirate Bay network with a VPN and break oourselves of financial responsibility and all of our kids and all of our great grandkids of all financial responsibility like all the other shitty billionaires did." And he was like, "It's really tempting." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, people are selling this copy of Windows for $100 on the dark web." I showed him. And I was like, "People are selling this copy of Microsoft Windows for $100, and they are making a lot of sales." And I was like, "You understand? That's probably like $100 million at the very least. It would count up so fast that I would be scared that it would trip the feds if I tried to put the money anywhere but Bitcoin." This was before Bitcoin. This was way before Bitcoin, like a good 7 or 8 years before Bitcoin was even a glim in Ken's eye or whatever, right? I know a lot about Bitcoin because I figured if I ever was going to have to steal to get by, which I haven't done, I'll steal a credit card so I can buy Grubhub and stuff like that, but I don't steal because I have so much power. I'm maybe one of the best thieves of all time. I'm up there with Lupin the Third, and it sounds like braggadocio, but that's only because I have the Pegasus program, and I have a copy of Windows that doesn't have a serial key. Those things, they're worth so much. It's like being Bill Gates. It's like that powerful. And so I tempted my best friend one time. I was like, "You want to build a criminal software cracking enterprise and sell copies of Windows to try to destroy Microsoft and steal all their money?" And he was like, "Yes." He was like, "Yes, but I'm not going to. My mother raised me better. My people in my temple would frown on me for doing something like that." He was like, I am tempted to free myself of all financial responsibility and all of my family from financial responsibility for the rest of our lives. But he was like, "At what cost? It'll probably just get us arrested." And I was like, "Yeah, there's no way we probably wouldn't get arrested for doing this, but we could tack away a bunch of Bitcoin before they arrest us, and we could just do the minimum security prison for white collar crime, and then we walk with the $2 billion in Bitcoin or whatever it is, and then none of our family would ever have to ever make money ever again. And they can't stop you from spending Bitcoin. It is the currency for people like me who are super thieves like Lupin the Third." And I've done all kinds of crazy shit. I've robbed game stores. I've been in high-speed chases with cops. I've been a kingpin drug dealer on a low-level supply level or whatever. I ran with the biggest people in Denver and all this because I am very, very good at two things: MMORPGs and crime. I would say music too. I pray that I'm good at music, but I'm probably not even good at that. I would say it's MMOs, crime, and music. And so rather than building a criminal empire and then taking over the music industry and the Bitcoin industry and the software industry, I just get high and listen to the Beatles and play my MMORPGs. And I try to pretend I'm doing all of those things instead because I don't want to go to jail for 5 or 10 years. I really don't like the pig fuckers. I don't want to be around them. I don't like Democrats or Republicans. I don't want to deal with them. I vote for them by letting my mother vote for them, but I can't bring myself to vote for a Democrat or a Republican because to me, they're more powerless than I am. I have more power than Hillary Clinton. I personally have remember all the Benghazi emails and bullshit? I personally have far more power than Hillary Clinton. I don't use that power because I was raised better. I have good friends who would frown on me, who wouldn't be my friends anymore, that I value the friendships more than I value my own life. Like my best friend, Sen Quick, he would never speak to me again if I did something like this. He told me too. He was like, "And if you do this, I wouldn't speak to you anymore." And I was like, "Okay, no problem. I don't mind taking the high road." I actually really don't. I don't mind taking the high road. I prefer it. But I was also like, all the hardships that all of our families will face because of monetary problems in our lifetimes and their lifetimes and our great grandkids' lifetimes. I have that power. I could go break myself of that particular yoke, of that particular burden. I could just break myself of it. I've always had that kind of power. I could be on a plane tomorrow. I've done it before. I've lived in 5-star hotels for a year. I lived in a 5-star hotel for 2 years. Do you know how much it costs to book a 5-star hotel? It's because I have my cell phone program. I could just steal a credit card. I could buy a credit card, which is even better. And I could just pay for a 5-star hotel. And I did that for 2.5 years. I lived in a 5-star hotel downtown for 2.5 years with stolen credit cards. Now that's past the statute of limitations. So, I can brag about it on my stream. But the real reason I did that was just to prove to the girl that I could do that. She was like, you don't have that kind of power. And I was like, yes, I do. I tell them they all want to believe that I'm some loser or that I don't have the world at my feet. But I mean, I sing that song Blindness by Metric. It's my favorite song of all time. She was like, I was the one with the world at my feet. And I have the world at my feet. I just prefer... My favorite song of all time is also by Metric, which is a song called Formentera. And so her being rich, and she saved me. Emily Haynes, the lead singer of Emily Haynes, and was the lead singer of Metric. She saved my life when she told me that Formentera Beach was a far better goal than being Peter Thiel. And she wrote a song about it. It's my favorite song. It's called Formentera Beach. Oh, sorry, just Formentera. Excuse me. It's called Formentera. And yeah, I've never been to Formentera Beach, but the beach that's in my mind is far more rich and far more enriching than any billions that Peter Thiel could possess. Now, money causes me a lot of fucking problems all the fucking time, and I want that to end, which is why I'm a streamer, That's why I took a job as a streamer. I figured if I'm going to make it, I'll do it honestly as a media icon or some such. I don't think I want to be Ninja at all. But I mean, if I'm going to make a lot of money, I'll do it as a streamer. I'm not going to go steal, for a long time, I told my best friend, I was like, I'm going to go steal $1 billion from a Cayman bank. People would ask me when I was young, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I would unerringly say bank robber. My favorite movie is Heat, right? And they're like, what? That's what you answer? Bank robber? And I was like, yes, I want to rob the fucking bank. I want to rob the bank. I don't like the fucking bank. I think a man could derive a lot of satisfaction from robbing the fucking banks. And I can rob the banks better than anybody else. There's a guy in LA. He had the same attitude as me. He just felt that he had cracked the code, which was bank robbery. He was like, I've cracked the code to humanity, which is never having to worry about money ever again. And Hollywood wants to make a movie about him, but he wouldn't sell the rights. But he successfully robbed 110 banks and never did get caught. And this man, I can't remember his name, but he's like the DB Cooper of bank robbery and all this. And I could see robbing some banks. I mean, I was childish when I used to say it when I was 10 years old, but here I am at the age of 43, and the same dream that I had since I was a toddler is the same dream that I had now, which is rob the shithead bank. Rob the shithead bank. They take so much money from poor people. I don't feel that bad about it. If it was a Cayman bank, I would take $1 billion from a Cayman bank in Bitcoin, stick it away in an account, give $100 million to my mom in Bitcoin or whatever, and tell her to go have that retirement she deserves or whatever. But all the world's Bitcoin people aggro. All the world's criminals aggro. All the rich people aggro. And they'll be like, where'd you get the money? And I'd be like, I don't know. I'm a streamer. And they're like, you have 2 viewership. You don't make any money as a streamer. And I'd be like, I don't know. I'm a musician. I have an album. And they'll be like, you don't make any money making that. And I'd be like, I don't know. I successfully built my own taxi business, and I was taking $500 rides. And they'll be like, well, that is true. We do see that you were taking a lot of $500 an hour rides, and you did build a successful business as a taxi driver, but you haven't done that in 9 years. And that's my problem, is I can't launder the money. And the fastest way to get caught as a criminal is spending the money that you steal. And that's the truth. And that's why I didn't do any of this stuff. I'm tempted all the time. I'm like, well, I could steal. I told my mother the other day. I would tell her what I mean, but I think it would just scare her more, you know? But I mean, yeah. Anyways. So I have to go. I've got to scoop the box and go to family dinner now. I love you guys. When I grow up, I will be a bank robber. When I get older, when I'm like 95 years old or 98 or something like that, I'll stop being a streamer because I won't be able to cut it anymore, and I'll be like farting myself on stream or shitting my diaper on stream or whatever, and I won't be able to be a streamer anymore. So I'll just quit, right? And I'll watch my stream for the last 10 years of my life. But when I'm about 95, I'm going to dig out the Cain and Abel, and I'm going to go rob a fucking Cayman bank for $1 billion. I mean, I know I am. Everything I ever said I would do, everything I ever put on my bucket list, I've done. I've robbed game stores. I've been a drug dealer. I haven't been a bank robber. It's the one thing on the bucket list that I haven't done. And I will rob these shithead demon bankers at least once in my lifetime. I don't care if it's way past my hill and I'm 98 and I'm like struggling to click the mouse. But I get this from you know where I got this from? It's Cowboy Bebop. It's Edward from Cowboy Bebop. She left a virus that hits them 100 years later. That's what I want to do. I want to hit a Cayman bank like way past when they would ever throw me in jail when I'm like 95, just so I can say I finally did rob a bank, because I don't like the bank. The bank robbed us. The bank needs to go. And I think robbing the bank is the finest thing a man can do. And yeah. Here I am at 40 some odd years old, 43 some odd years old, and my live stream is still to rob the fucking bank and go to war with the governments and all that shit that you really don't want your kids saying. It didn't change. All the things I did didn't change. All the high-speed chases, all the problems, you know, it's like I am good at crime. I've never been caught in any meaningful way. They dragged me through 35 court dates because of a probation violation, because they're fucking mentally retarded and they wanted to blow like $200,000 worth of the public's money trying to throw their kids in jail for possession or whatever. But I mean, like, I've never been caught in any meaningful way for any of the major crimes I've done, and some of them are big. So, yeah, etc. I don't talk about the big ones because they're, you know, I don't know if I am past. There's no statute. There is statutes on everything I've done, and I'm past the statute on all of it. I mean, it's been 7 years since I've broken a law. So, yeah, so, you know, like, sub, and follow. Come to Skycatlive and give me a like, sub, or a follow. Help fund my private war against the government. Help me get skilled enough to rob a bank with no trace and leave nothing. Take everything they have and leave no trace. You know, and all that stuff. And you know, come give me a like, sub, or a follow and help fund my private war against the government and help me build my skills as a bank robber. You know, why not? So I love you guys. Thank you so much. You know, these dreams, they never did change. I think the people thought I was crazy when I said them, but I was like, no, I think a man could derive a lot of satisfaction robbing banks, you know, not just because of the fast money, but because the bank fucking sucks. The bank fucking sucks dick. I don't give a shit about hurting the bank, and the bank's insured. So you're not really hurting the consumer when you rob banks. I would really like Karens to rob banks now and rob Amazon, because they're robbing us, you know? So after all that robbing and thievery talk and all the crime and all that bullshit and all the drugs and everything and all the sick bullshit, I'm going to log now. I'm going to go have family dinner with my parent, and then I will be back to talk about robbing more banks here in a little bit. I love you guys. This is why there's no kids in my fucking channel. My chat is subversive. I will teach you how to be a good criminal, and I don't like that element of my personality. I corrupted everybody I ever met, and I got everybody to be fat and drug addicts and criminals and stuff. I've corrupted everybody I know, and I'm a bad person, and I don't like it, and I'm doing it to you, so I'm leaving now. I love you guys. Have a nice day. Don't break the law. Don't do as Donnie Don't does. Bye. Hi guys, I'm back. I had to unpause there. And hi. I will play some video games now. I'm going to play some Rust and watch some videos. Ooh, for Horizon sale, huh? $30 for the Horizon Forbidden West Complete Edition, but that's not the remaster, right? They say Path of Exiles 2 is good because it's hard. I don't know if I believe them. I don't think isometric ARPGs are fun anymore. That's just me. My headphones. Hi. Cute little kitty. You want to go back outside? You can if you want. You want to go back outside, kitty? Yeah? Okay. I'll come let you out. Oh, that was almost bad, I think. I gotta be careful. Okay. Go outside? Can. There you go. Gotta watch the feral hogs thing because it's funny.
Our main story tonight.
Angry and they charge you. They're like they're just threatened. They're like, oh, that woman by the car, it's gonna kill us and she's gonna shoot us or something. Because I'm swear to God, the pigs probably know we have guns. They're not dumb. So the pigs are like, well, attack her, and the whole pack attacks her and probably trampled her to death. With their hooves are razor sharp, and they'll just cut right through your skin, no problem.
Common across the United States.
Their hooves are sharp. Their tusks are scary. If they can gore you with their tusks if they're like male.
Milder winters cause.
They're like nasty. Like they're very standard MMORPG animals. So I'm used to fighting them, but they have like interesting traits. Like they have these fucking tusks on their face that they can just gore you with. You really don't want to be charged by a feral hog who's angry at you. I would jump to the top of a car pretty much. She probably froze. My thing is get elevated immediately. The pig can't get higher than 4 feet or whatever. Height's your friend there, so honestly, climbing some stairs is probably going to thwart the pig. I mean, the pig might be able to charge up the fucking stairs and kill you. I don't really see what stops it. But I think stairs or the top of a car or something, that's how animals are in video games, is get elevated, get away, get up on something away from it. And that's how I would deal with it in real life too. You want to get up on a car where the pig just can't reach you. It might even just try to jump up there. They can jump really high. They can jump like 6 feet in the air. They're not bad at jumping. They've got really strong springy legs like goats, and they can jump fences and stuff. That happens in this video. And yeah, I would be worried about it. I would want a pickup truck or something, but I would stand on the roof of a pickup truck to get away from a boar. I would not try to freeze. I'm running. I don't care if it charges me. I'm running because if you're standing still, he'll just gore you. He'll put his tusks right through you. I can't believe a woman in Texas died this year because of this. It's insane. It's like, it suggests that a group of 5 or 10 pigs probably just charged her, which is insane, and then trampled her to death, probably, and gored her.
Change are helping the population.
And she probably maybe didn't die right away. She probably bled out. It's insane because they have sharp teeth. They don't have like sharp predator teeth, but they've got teeth that will cut your skin. They've got very strong jaws, and you don't want to get bit by them. They've got very strong tusks. You don't want to get hit by the tusk. It'll break your bones and cause you a terrible problem. The hooves are rock hard. They're like rock hard, like cement, and they kick you. They kick and trample you with them. And the hooves are dangerous. And honestly, the weight of the animal is really dangerous. So if the full weight of the 750-pound boar comes bearing down on you and hits you, it's gonna hurt. It's like getting hit by a car.
Explode
because they're heavy. They're like 1,200 pounds. Or something. I don't know what they weigh, but they're fucking heavy. You don't want to get hit by it if it's going full speed, because it's like getting hit by a car.
Pigs are destructive. They are extremely difficult to control.
Yeah, look, they're also really angry for some reason. They're like angry beings. They don't really like stuff that's out of the norm. They're normal animals and they rut in the mud and they're just like normal animals, but they don't like stuff that's out of the norm. They aggro to it and they charge. Bulls do this too, like cow bulls. Cow bulls will charge you. They're really ornery animals. They don't like you. They don't want you anywhere near them. They have some genetic imperative to not let humans anywhere near them. So they just charge you or kill you, one or the other. And so that's how we got bullfighting. pigs aren't much different from bulls. They probably see you, they probably see red, they get really angry and scared. They're like, fuck this thing's gonna shoot me or something. And so then they just charge you. And they run fast. They run like 35, 40 miles an hour. Look.
Statistically more dangerous.
Yeah, like that's fast. That's actually fast. That's faster than a human being. You wouldn't be able to flee from it. It's gonna catch you. It's running faster than you. It's running at like 32 miles an hour or something. That's faster than a human.
Sharks.
Yeah, that's actually...
It doesn't look like it because he's loping and he's huge, but it's like the pig's fast. You wouldn't really want to run from one because they're even the babies are fucking fast.
true. Wild pigs have killed...
You want to get elephants in the world, really? We really kind of stopped that happening, huh? But wild pigs do kill people, yeah.
...of animals are more dangerous than sharks. Cows kill more people.
I mean, like, what happens when that lady dies? Like, it's crazy. Probably she's alone out there somewhere on a road or something, and she's trying to go to her car, and a herd of boars comes rolling up, and she feels the ground trampling as they start coming in, and she knows something's really wrong. And then before she can do anything, the lead boar just charges her because he's fucking angry or whatever. And then at that point, the pack probably just tramples her to death. So she's this bloody, broken, most of her bones are probably broken. She's trampled and stomped to death by pigs who gore her with tusks. So she's probably got tusk wounds and stuff. And she's this bloody piece of flesh lying on the ground. Because, yeah, a pack of boars, they'll fuck you up. They'll fuck you up real bad. I don't have a fear of them. I just have a respect of them. I've seen a large bear in the wild in Colorado. I've seen all kinds of deer and moose and stuff. I've seen really big animals before, but boars aren't something that you see that often.
Than they do, for example, and yet
in Colorado you can hunt them willingly all day. You can kill 400 a day or something, and the government does not care. You could fill a truck, like a garbage truck, with just dead pig corpses, and no local cop will say a word. They don't care. They want you killing the boars. They don't, some people are uptight about animals and they call it poaching and stuff, or you got to have the right license or that kind of thing. But there's no license required to kill boars in most states. Like they'll require you a license to hunt bear or deer or that kind of thing, but they don't require a license or even having to talk to the government if you want to kill boars. So a lot of hunters do kill boars. They go out and they use it as a sport animal because they breed so fucking fast. They're like rabbits. They breed really fast. Killing them really doesn't stop them. They just keep breeding. They're Malthusian is what they call this. It's like they're females will kick out 8 to 12 pigs every 5 months or whatever it is. So yeah, after 5 years, there's a herd of boars. There's it's 20. That's why you see so many. They're all cousins and brothers and sisters and stuff. They're probably incestuous. But I mean, the pack's fucking huge because they breed fast. The pack grows fast. After 2 to 5 years, you're going to have what was normally 3 or 4 pigs will multiply into 20 pigs, and they will trample you in a big fucking pack. They'll use each other to climb out of places. You're about to see stuff like that.
Cowards at Discovery Channel.
They can eat anything. They can live off anything. They can live off garbage if they want. Garbage is one of their main things, I think, actually.
Still refuse to.
And they're kind of like honey badgers. They don't really have natural predators because there's the skin is tough to get for predator teeth to get through it. It's a very tough. We use it for leather, right? Leather comes from pigs and cows. And leather is a tough material that we use as armor because it is really tough. So most predators don't try with the boars because they can't really get their fucking teeth through the skin unless it's a large cat or a large dog or a large, I don't know what kills boars. I don't think anything does, But yeah, most animals aren't going to fuck with boars because they're social animals. They roll around in packs of fucking 5, 10, 15, 20, something like that more. So if you fuck with one, you fuck with all. And they come on like a freight train and they just trample you because they're scared of you. So they come right at you really fast. They don't give you any time. And they see red and they just attack you outside reason. They're just angry beings.
How weak?
They're not angry beings. They're totally fine when no one's around them. But if a human comes up, boars get scared because they're feral. That's what they keep saying, feral. It means that they don't have normal goings on with humans. They don't respect humans. They weren't raised by humans. They don't like humans. They're scared of them. We're probably the apex predator for them. So they're really scared of us, and they've had thousands of years of genetic race memory in their pig minds, telling them that that we have guns and that we travel during the day, so they travel at night. They're not dumb. They like destroy stuff. They knock down trees and they trample yards and they trample gardens and they eat everything. They eat entire peanut fields. They just strip the field. They'll just eat a whole field of peanuts. Because wouldn't you, if you were a boar? If you're a boar and you have to eat like 100 pounds worth of food every day and you discover a peanut field from a peanut farmer, and you're just like, oh man, peanuts really taste fucking good. They're like really good, and they're very heartening, and they're good for, you know, good for protein and stuff like this. So the pigs, they just go nuts and they'll strip a whole field of peanuts like it wasn't even there, and they don't obey walls, they don't obey fences, they don't care about that stuff.
So given that, tonight, let's talk about feral hogs.
They're beautiful sometimes. They remind me of cows because they have a big range of color. They can be black or white or spotted or gray or brown. They're kind of like cats. They can have cool fur. See, that one's got like cool black and orange fur. And this one's got kind of a cow thing going on with black and white sort of patches and stuff. And this one's just dark brown. But I mean, they have a beautiful calico coat sometimes. I want to see a live horde of boars because it's probably like horses. It's such a beautiful spray of colors on their coats and stuff. They're wonderfully... You know, everybody seems to think of them as a problem, but I would think that boars are probably just boars. They probably have the temperaments of boars, and they're not bad animals. They're just, you know, they're just strong. They're big, they're strong, they roll in big packs, they don't care, they're feral, they don't obey our laws, they don't care about that. So that's kind of intimidating about them. But as far as animals go, boars I don't think are like the nature's most invasive species. I would say that's kudzu. Kudzu is a plant, and it's killing the South way faster than the feral hogs are. So yeah, and I mean, it is an invasive species, worse than feral hogs, because it's like choking the South. It takes like older buildings and covers it with vines, and within 5 years, you can't even get in the front door anymore because the vines will seal over the door. Like, kudzu is far worse than feral hogs.
Where they came from.
One of the cool things about feral hogs is they probably eat kudzu. It's probably one of the few animal species that actually eats kudzu. We learned about kudzu. It doesn't really have a natural predator. No animal eats vines, because vines are like the equivalent of fingernails in the plant culture, right? Vines are like these really thick plant matter that takes like, you know, a sharp machete to cut through. And it's really thick, and it's got like viscous fluid and stuff. And vines are a tough material. Like some people like brag about Tarzan swinging from vines and stuff, because it is possible. Vines are really strong. So like, you know, so vines are something you can swing from, but it's like, but you wouldn't really want to eat vines because they're like 10 times as tough as your average plant. They're like the fingernail versions of plants. They're like basically cuticle, like it's like the strength of a fingernail cuticle. Vines, they're pretty fucking tough. You know, it takes sawing them with a certain kind of serrated knife to get through them very fast, because they're not, you know, so they're not really the most edible thing, vines. So nothing eats kudzu, and the kudzu is just taking over the South. We watched another video about that recently, and the kudzu is a far worse invasive species than the feral hogs. It is the most destructive, terrible, like invasive species on the planet is kudzu.
Damage they're doing.
If you consider plants like a, you know, like an entity that can be a threat to human beings, or anything really, kudzu is actually the biggest threat to human beings, because it like envelops our buildings in vines that aren't very easy to cut, and it's really hard to get rid of the kudzu. You can burn it, but I mean, that's really dangerous. But you can burn it. It's like the only thing you can do to it is you can burn kudzu. But I mean, it would take so much gasoline and fuel that it's not efficient. But it's like the only way you can get it off the building. You can't pull the vine away from the walls. It's stuck to the walls. It grows into the fucking walls, and its tensile strength is far better than any tool we have except for fire. So to clean kudzu off of a building for resale or whatever usually involves a flamethrower, like a full-blown flamethrower. And that's an example of an invasive species that is destructive, really destructive. Unlike these feral hogs are destructive. They ruin farmers' land and stuff like that. They're really bad, but they're not destructive like kudzu is to our fucking property value. Kudzu is destroying the South.
how we can fight back.
The feral hogs are destroying the south too, but they're doing it much, much slower. The kudzu's growing at an uncut Malthusian rate. And they'd have to flamethrower the kudzu to get rid of it, and they're not going to do that. That'll set houses on fire. Even brick buildings will probably burn, honestly, if you burn them the wrong way. So it's like, yeah, like if you burn it the wrong way, you probably could burn down like a brick building in certain ways if it's got wood foundation or anything like that. So it's just sort of like no one's going to burn all the kudzu in the south, and kudzu doesn't have a natural predator. Feral hogs do. They've got like wolves and large mountain cats and human beings. Kudzu doesn't have a predator. Nothing is killing kudzu. Nothing in the south is killing kudzu. It's like maybe the rich people pay landscaping artists to try and deal with it with machetes and flamethrowers and stuff, but nobody really cleans kudzu unless they have to, because it's this thing that it's like worse than like cement glue or like super glue or whatever. It's this thing that once once the vines have wrapped around a wall or like a base of something, it's there forever. You can't really get the vines off. Tensile strength, the vines win. You would have to have some kind of pneumatic pump or drill that pulled claws through the fucking vines to actually get them to separate from the brick. And if the kudzu decides to take over like a library or something, the kudzu will take over a library. Feral hogs don't, do that. They don't really go actively at us. They're more like incidentally angry at us when they stumble on us and stuff. But kudzu really is actively destroying the south. It's like causing terrible amounts of property damage and stuff. And it's impossible to get away from it.
And let's start with the fact the feral hogs aren't native to the US. In fact, no.
Yeah, they were brought here. Somebody brought these here probably because they didn't like the white man or Americans. But yeah, somebody brought these here, or they're just stupid. They're just stupid. They don't know how bad feral hogs really are. So somebody brought these here and was breeding them at a farm or something like that, and they got loose and they just started. I mean, they're feral hogs. They can jump fences and stuff like this. They're really hard to captivate. So yeah, if they want to leave, they'll just leave. They'll knock your fence down. They'll knock a wall down. They'll build a pyramid with their own bodies, and they'll climb the pyramid and jump over the wall. They're not stupid. So like they're not smart, but they're not stupid either. They can do stuff like build a pyramid, and they know it's going to work to get some of the pigs out of the cage, and they do stuff like that because they're not dumb. They're not smart, but they're not dumb. So you can probably trick them pretty easy, but it's not like, but they're not dummy animals that are just kind of like cows. They're not docile. They're not happy. They're kind of like these uptight animals that are kind of like angry when they see other species and stuff. And yeah.
Member of the swine family is native to the Western Hemisphere.
I know a lot about swine because my friends used to hunt them. Like, my mom didn't believe me today, but my friends, they've always known since I was like 20 years old that in Colorado or Texas or, well, I mean, New Mexico's kind of close to us, or Santa Fe, that kind of thing, or Wyoming or whatever. It doesn't matter where you go. If you want, you can transport guns over state lines without a gun license if you're hunting feral hogs. And we've known this since I was like 16 years old or something. It's really big in Colorado. Sometimes they take helicopters to go do it and stuff. It's insane. It's like a sport now. But yeah, we've known forever that you can hunt feral hogs with no, like the government doesn't say boo. Usually they do want a license. They want to know why you're there. They want to know if you've had classes and you know how to use your guns and all this other stuff. But no, when you're hunting feral hogs, there is no government oversight at all. They're just like, go kill the hogs. There's millions of them. They're tearing up the country. Go kill them. And we've known this for a long time. So like for a while there, my friend Jed, who runs Pondering in the Pines on YouTube or whatever, he's a friend of mine who's a streamer, and many other things. He's a tour guide. He lives he doesn't live in the mountains. He lives in downtown Denver, but but he goes to the mountains almost every day. It's his job. And he used to hunt a lot of feral hogs because it's like there's all this rigmarole and all this fucking like paperwork and all this money that you have to pay if you want to be a hunter. But feral hogs, they don't care. They're just like, go kill hogs. They don't even want a license. They don't care. And so it's a good way to get around Like feral hog hunting is a very good way to get around the normal bureaucracy that's involved with being a hunter in America, because there's a lot of middlemen, a lot of licensing, a lot of money, a lot of problems, a lot of like them telling you what to do when you're in their parks and stuff and all this. But feral hogs, you can freely roam. I think you probably could catch a trespassing charge, but honestly, if you were to tell like a police officer that you're on the guy's land because you're hunting feral hogs, they're probably not inclined to even bust you for trespassing, because they're just like, that's why you're here. Yeah, I'm here to hunt feral hogs. They're a menace to the county. And the cop's going to be like, oh yeah, they are a menace to the county. You have a nice day, sir. Is the gun's all legal and you guys got paperwork? And when you say yes, he's just like, I'm not going to give you anything for this. You go right ahead. I'm not even going to give you a trespassing charge because it's obvious why you're here. You're not here to steal, right? And the hunter goes, no, you can see from my shotgun or whatever that I'm hunting feral hogs. And the cop will let you go. We've known this for a long time, but they hassle hunters. They do hassle hunters. They checkpoint hunters and do all this stuff, but they don't hassle you when you do feral hogs. So that's how I know about it. So they know the ways of humans. Like one of the things he said that really fascinated me is the pigs have figured out, they're not dumb. I keep saying it, but I mean, it is kind of important because like Republicans aren't dumb either. They're not smart, but they're not dumb either. So they're not dumb. They're, they're the same sort of swine, but it's just crazy. It's like the main, like one of the things the pigs do is they're not dumb. So they learned that most human traffic is during the day. So these feral hogs, one of the first things we noticed about them is they only move at night. They like sleep during the day. They can make pigloos.
Part of the reason they survived so well in the wild is that aside from...
Yeah, they're like impervious to cold. They don't get really cold very easy. They're like, and if they do, they build themselves like a pigloo, which is just like a thing that shelters their body in the snow and stuff. And then, and so the temperature doesn't really bother them. They're very hardy. It takes a lot of attacks to actually kill a boar. It's insane. You probably have to spear a boar probably like 5 or 10 times if you really wanted to kill it. It's insane. They're tough, hardy animals. They can take a licking and keep sticking. So yeah, but they're not like these roving predators. They're not like these things that threaten us directly all the time, like sharks or whatever. They're not something that you're really afraid of running across, because it's like most feral hogs are just going to avoid you unless you trap them in some way or you force a confrontation with them or whatever. But it's like most feral hogs are probably just going to pass right by you and ignore you, just like raccoons, just like all the other animals. They're not really very ornery if it doesn't serve them to be. They're not known for charging randos. That's not really how they operate. It probably gets really cold at night. The skin is like leather. It's like basically dead weight that they've got to carry, and it's like armor. It's very strong. It's their skin. I mean, you would want a sword if you wanted to attack a feral hog, because you're gonna need something really sharp and really long to actually pierce its skin. It's got very tough leather armor. So, and once you pierce it, you're probably going to hit bone right away. And the bone is really hard and really big. So, you don't really want to hit its bone structure either. You probably want to stab it in its head with a spear or something if you had to melee fight one. How I think I would kill a boar is I would get a spear. Even if I had to like tree myself all day and shave a spear with a knife or something, I would shave a spear with a knife in a tree, and then I would get down and I would get the feral to fucking charge me. And when it charged me, I would try to gore him in the throat with a spear, and it would probably cost you your life. You'd probably lose your life doing that. Because it's like, you're not going to land the throat pierce. But if you want to stop a feral hog in its tracks and kill it, you've got to pierce its gullet, like its throat, right below its chin. It's the only it's not a soft spot either. It's the same leather armor as the rest of the pig, but it's the only part of the body besides putting a bullet in its brain that's going to shut the pig down from charging you and trampling you. So you want to shut the pig down, or you're going to get gored. I don't even know if it has tusks. I don't know if feral hogs have tusks. I don't know. I think that's actually a bigger pig. But, maybe they don't have tusks, but so I would try to stick a spear in its throat, and I would get it to charge me, and I would get down on one knee, and I would put the spear forward, and as he came at me, I would try to stick the spear up his goddamn neck. Like right as he came at me, I'd try to put it right up under his snout and pierce right up under his jaw into his brain and try to kill him as he charged me. And I think that's how most people end up surviving feral hog attacks is they just get in a battle with the pig point blank, and they shove some spear or some knife in its throat. People, its skull is very, very thick. Some bullets are going to bounce off the bones plates in its skull. Like it's probably not that easy to kill a boar. You probably have to hit it 4 or 5 times. And so yeah, so I would try with a sharpened spear, preferably with a metal tip, but I don't know how you would do that. You would just have to sharpen a stick, really. But I would sit and I would wait, and if I felt like the confrontation was going to happen no matter what, I would avoid it at all costs. But if I felt like the pig had cornered me and it's charging me, I'm going to try and put a spear in its throat. Now, that's just not going to happen. It's tilting down. It's got its throat lower. It's thinking about its throat because it knows that its throat is a really soft area that is kind of a weakness for it. And so it's thinking about its throat, and it may not even present you its throat to pierce in the first place. It might turn the head to the side when it sees a spear or something like that. Then what can you do? You've just got a charging boar that's going to trample you. So yeah, I would try for the throat shot if I really had to fight one, and I would do it from range, and I would stab downwards from a tree with a really long stick that I had sharpened, and that's how I would get the boars to leave. I would just keep fucking stabbing at them with spears up in a tree, because they can't climb trees. That's like a real weakness that they have compared to us. We can climb trees fairly quickly, like in 2 minutes you can climb a tree pretty fucking fast. Most humans can climb a tree unless they're fat or whatever, or disabled. So yeah, you could climb a tree, pull a stick from the tree, sharpen the stick with a knife, and then you can poke down at the pig all day long till it left you alone. But that's what you would have to do. There's not, and my mind kind of boggles at what a feral hog battle would actually consist of. Because I'm thinking 5.56 rifle or higher, or 7.62. I'm looking for a couple of piercing shots on his dome. The kind of way you would deal with a full-blown armored man is, I'm thinking I'd probably just dome him 2 or 3 times and try to actually kill him. And that's how I would deal with the feral hog, preferably, is with a 5.56 or higher, 7.62, 50 cal, or a shotgun with a slug. And I would try to hit him in the head, and I'm going to try and keep hitting him in the head, like pow, 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 in the fucking head. Because if you don't shut him down, I swear to God, the pig not only will figure out some way to get you out of the tree, he might even kick the tree down. The pig's strong enough probably to kick the tree down. It's insane. That's how strong they are. So I wouldn't really want to piss off a feral hog. If I did it, I would do it in a tree, I think.
So-called pigloos to survive the winter.
Yeah, and they're like, even so now they've moved to the north. When the pigs, because they're not dumb, they have like social structures and stuff, and they have and they have like brains, and they use them. And the pigs have figured out that if they build pigloos in the ice in the fucking freezing winter, they can conquer the north too. So they moved out of the south. Well, they didn't move out of the south, but they moved from the south to the north. And now the northern states aren't safe because the pigs just curl up in a big pack in the snow, and they make a pigloo, which is what they call, and the humans find the pigloos. They're like these little like hutches that the pigs built with their bodies of like compressed snow that's turned into ice, and they pack probably 10 boars in there, so they got the body heat going, and the body heat melts the ice, and they sit in there in the pigloos, and they don't and they eat all year long, so they can probably go days without eating and stuff, and the snow melts, so they probably lick the snow to get water, and yeah, and they're like impervious to snow now too, so they're affecting the northern states too. And that's very bad because they didn't used to actually be in the northern states.
And this is true. Cute.
Wolves are mostly dead, and if I swear to God, wolves are like the one big predator I would guess might actually take it. Like a pack of wolves might actually try to thin out the fucking boar herds because it's good meat. You're gonna eat as a wolf. If your pack kills a couple of boars, that you're eating for like 5 days, 10 days, something like that. So wolves would have naturally thinned these out, but I don't think we treated the wolves well. I listened to something on NPR recently, and the wolves are like mostly dead now. We've almost wiped out wolves. I'm gonna go ask the AI, but just to get like the direct like information. But have we thinned out the wolf population in America so bad that it's almost extinct? Because that's my impression, but I don't really know if that's the truth. Your impression is actually a very accurate reflection of history, but it doesn't quite match the current reality. Historically, your impression is 100% correct. By the 30s and 60s, government-backed bounty programs, trapping and hunting completely wiped out wolves from almost the entire contiguous United States. It's like most states do not have wolves anymore. Wolves would have been a good counter to these fucking boars, because the wolves are like one of the few things in nature that are strong enough to actually take one down. But I mean, I'm fairly sure that boars are sort of famous for actually stopping wolves too. Like boars are kind of a contender for wolves, because if the boar like gores the wolf, it might die.
Polymarket specifically.
Oops, wrong video. What happened here? Did I lose the video or did I alt tab? Oh, there we go.
They also apparently maintain complex social relationships.
Look at the cool spots on his fur, because they're like cool. They're like real animals. They're like, you know, they're like horses. They have like spotted fur, and they're like actually real animals. You know, they're very respectable beings.
Can choose to resolve conflicts without violence. And
No, the most destructive species is definitely kudzu. It like even the pigs don't eat the kudzu because it's not really edible. So I mean, there's no natural predator for kudzu. Kudzu's way worse.
seem to understand.
I don't like that they keep saying it's most destructive species, because that's not so good for feral pigs. If they tell the world that feral pigs are evil, the world will continue to just call feral pigs till they're completely gone. And we need feral pigs. They are there for a reason. You know, their bacon does feed the world, and you know, they are a part of the whole big shebang. So it's like, you know, I don't know about demonizing feral pigs when kudzu's a much better target. It sucks. Like, the pig sees you and the pig's like, wait, I'm just gonna attack you first. And I mean, the pig isn't dumb to do so. Most people run. The pig has had thousands of years of genetic raising that's taught it that if you tilt down and put your snout and start charging towards a human, it usually runs. And the pig knows this, so it does it. It just charges you.
As for the prevalence of these hogs,
I love feral hogs. I think they're actually very cool. I didn't know how smart they were.
thing you need to understand.
But when you see them build a pyramid to get themselves out of a cage, you begin to realize that, yeah, feral hogs, I wouldn't really want to like fight one in a math quiz, maybe, because feral hogs are quite intelligent, actually, beings. For some reason, they've just sat around and ate most of their whole million years since the Cretaceous period or whatever. So they just have all this time. All they do is strip the land of all the food to eat, and they probably think. They're pigs. They sit there and they think all day long. They're like not dumb animals, not at all. Pigs are famous for being really smart. Like, they can, like, remember he talks about it in this episode, but he talks about Babe the pig being like a shepherd, because pigs are smart enough to be a shepherd, like dogs. They're actually that intelligent. It's damage that they do to the land. They bring a pack of like 15 or 20 boars through any soft grass or anything like that, and it just tears up the land the same way horses would, because they weigh like 1,500 pounds. Let's see how much a feral hog weighs. How much does a feral hog weigh on average? Is it like 1,800 pounds? That's my guess. I don't know. Go. Oh, it's only 250 pounds. Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't realize they were. I thought they were. A large feral hog will get to like 400 pounds, which is like the size of a human. But no, they don't get much bigger than humans, actually. No, you can find like an 800-pound boar. There was a Hogzilla that weighed in at 800 pounds, but I mean, but they do get big. They get big. They get like 600-800 pounds, but they're surprisingly agile for how big they are. And but yeah, the average is, I guess, 250, which I didn't know. That's not that bad. I thought they were like 1,000 pounds. That's insane. I was wrong. Like all mammals, all life is sacred, even buttworms and that tapeworm that's in RFK's head or whatever. Even that tapeworm in RFK's brain is still like beautiful life that should be preserved. And I mean that, you know, all life is sacred, motherfucker. Even fucking RFK's brainworm, even that brainworm is sacred. And so, you know, I am a naturalist when it comes like to stuff like that. I just do believe what I said. It's like all life is sacred, even the butt worms, you know? Even I don't know, even dung beetles, you know, even dung beetles are a life form that is needed if this planet is to exist.
To the potential for disease outbreaks yet. Feral swine carry over 30 pathogens and 40 parasites, many of which can infect wildlife.
They're sick. Yeah, they are sick. They're also really sick. Their tusks and their teeth will give you parasites and stuff because they eat so much stuff that whatever's in the food. Now, I had the desktop audio quieter, and I wish I hadn't done that. The animal is they're looking out for number one. They're not there to humor you. They're not there to learn. They're not there to try out or experiment. Maybe they're curious and they do experiment, but they're not there really. They're just looking out for number one. They don't want to die. They want their meals when the meals come. They want easy meals, and they want to drink water and they want to fuck when they're in heat. But overall, it's just, you know, like they're just looking out for number one, and that I've always really respected about animals, and I learned a lot about that. You know, learned a lot from them, and the respect that like I think it is kind of like that. In the end, no one really looks out for you. Like your parents will look out for you, your friends will look out for you, and your people will look out for you, and you have community, and it does help. But in the end, when it gets down to it, the only person that makes the decisions that sort of dictate whether you live or die, that comes down to you. And animals, they spend their whole lives just not trying to die. And I respect that more than what humans do. I think humans put on airs and pretend to be something that's more important than they are. And animals don't do that. They just look out for number one. You can set your clock to it. They're going to look out for number one. They're going to worry about where their next meal comes from. And food is their only preoccupation, really. Unless they're in heat and they want to mate. Or it's that time of season for them. Or some other thing that kind of dictates their focus. But overall, mostly, it's looking out for number one and making sure the next meal comes. And they'll do whatever they have to get the next meal to come. And I like that simplicity. And I would say the pigs are no different. And so I find it difficult to hate these boars, even if they do cause mankind a lot of difficulty. Because, you know... It's not like the pig set out to do that. The pig just wants to live. And I tend to fall kind of humanitarian and animal egalitarian when it comes to that. Like all things are equal, all life is sacred or whatever. I tend to kind of fall on the animals' side, usually. Because they're just trying to live their life, look out for number one, and make sure the next meal comes. They're not complicated like us. So when their lives are complicated because of us, it's unacceptable. And I think the pigs, they're just a different form of us. They're built from the same genetic stuff that humans are. They eat the same foods. The pigs are not that different from us. They're not primates. But they are living beings that care about what their next meal comes from and care about sociality. And I don't really see why we would look at pigs as like a lesser thing than any other animal out there. But they seem to have been declared like public enemy number one here. And I don't think that's good for nature. And I don't like that, about this particular video. The more attention that we pay to sharks and pigs and stuff that we imagine is a threat to us, the tougher it is to keep those species going. The more likely they are to be hunted and persecuted. And I dislike when they just declare an animal public enemy number one, like sharks or wolves or pigs. And I don't think it's good for the world when they do this. They declare war against a particular species, but the species is there, and it is part of the balance, and it's no more important or less important than anything else in the giant food pyramid that is the circle of life or whatever.